small first female president of Liberia just made her contribution for reason, and she's going to say something and then just take a leave.
Mama, may God bless you. Thank you. I'm joining the women of Liberia. The mic is not on. I think we can hear it. No, let her talk for you. Okay, I'll hold it. This is former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We are happy to see you, Mama. We are here to support women candidates in the legislature. Nigeria cannot be left behind. Exactly. Countries are moving forward to give women their rightful place. Anyone who stops them is stopping progress in the world. So we're here to support Kehleboe Gongloe. Commitment, show dedication to do well in the Liberian legislature.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
So that was a speech from the first female person.
Yes, that's we are happy to receive our grandma. Very happy to receive her.
Women.
Yes.
Oh, women.
Yes.
Women.
Yes.
Kind of muted. You've been following the news in Liberia. You've been following the senatorial race, and it's a lot happening in Liberia. I'm telling you.
Then he will understand, he will know that Mimba is balanced, Mimba is okay, and the children he trained, Mimba is in their hands, and so he can finally rest. I want to recognize everyone on the platform here. You know, when a political man raises that, recognize everybody, then when you just proceed. I will start by the historicity of this county. I listen to people on the radio, oh, the vice president trying to trouble-ize our elections. The election in Nima is trying to trouble-ize it. It's because they don't know about Nima. If they knew about Nima, they would not talk about the vice president trying to trouble-ize things. In 1952, this country was better. President Tubman at the time appointed Johnny Volker to be senior senator of Nima County. He asked Johnny Volker, look among your elders.
All right, guys. Are you guys still? Hey, Hamed, good to see you, man.
How you doing, my brother?
Good, good. All right, guys. Are you guys still playing video? Are we okay? Henry? Henry in studio. Okay. All right, guys. Once again, welcome everybody to the Closing Acumen. Welcome on this Thursday edition of the Closing Acumen. It's a lot happening in the country. I met a lot is going on. We're hearing different endorsements. The former president of Liberia, President Sylvester, has endorsed Kehleboe Gongloe, where the former vice president of Liberia, Jallah, also endorsed her. And then there's this stuff going on that the vice president of Liberia was injecting tribalism and talking about mandingos and all of that. So we're going to dive into this conversation today. But welcome, buddy, and how's your day going, man?
Yeah, it's a quiet, nice, say what, summer or so. At least the sun is coming out now. It's a little warm. Nice evening out here. Yeah.
So the weather is kind of kicking up.
Yeah, it's getting better, man.
Yeah, yesterday was really cool.
Oh yeah. I think maybe it might drop, but at least in the last 2 hours, it's been really nice.
Yeah, yesterday was really cool. I was like, man, you know, but they hopefully it will be better. I understand next week will be good. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, we getting towards summer, so
yeah,
it gets warmer every time, every day. Yeah, before.
Interesting. And we see the folks in Manchester, England, are also praising the CMC party is in full gear. They had the first consultative meeting today, chaired by the political leader, Honorable Musa Hassan Biladi, and we saw a couple of folks there. So it's really interesting, very much interesting to see. You know, very much. You know, Musa is a go-getter. He knows how to move and get things done. You know, and he's been through a lot of political parties. So I don't see why he shouldn't have his own party. He shouldn't test the water. You know, but he's a go-getter. When he puts his mind on something, he goes for it. He definitely goes for it, and that's why we are saying. But I mean, today the former president of the Republic of Liberia, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, went up to Nima and endorsed Kehleboe Gongloe openly, and saying that this is I support you, and said that she's supporting women with the only female candidate in the race. What do you think? I want you to chime on this. What weight does it bring to Kehleboe Gongloe campaign and the people of Nima? What weight would that bring?
Well, I think politically, it brings a significant endorsement to the less campaign, Kehleboe's campaign. I mean, the former presidency enjoys uh, some support within the country, particularly amongst women. And then also she's highly respected. So she has stayed far away from politics since she left from power. She hasn't really been active. She she fell short of doing this kind of public political engagement endorsement. So it must have been a real, it signifies a real particular interest in the Congo for her to come out and do that, to expose herself to what comes with such political territory.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it will give Edith additional momentum that she needs. It gives her the confidence and the boost that she thinks she can pull it over to the line. The only thing we don't know for sure is, considering, of course, that the Nima politics is has been conservatively tribal most of the time, traditional. We don't know as to which of the voting black significantly that the president's endorsement will be putting towards towards Madame Gongloe, whether it's going to be independent women, whether it's going to be some group of the Unity Party or whatever, but that's what we will be looking forward to see. But the truth is that the endorsement of Madame Celine is one that you cannot, because sometimes too, it comes with, some of these endorsements comes with the potential of mobilizing resources. So people who are on the fence, people who sitting by but have connections with the former president, having heard that she has endorsed the Gongloe's campaign, could be in a position to at least open their purse to chip in here and there, because at the end of the day, even though we do have few more days to the election, and so maybe there may not be active campaign activity going on. However, you still need money to take care of pool washers. You need pool washers. You need to ensure you have bring up the vote campaign, where at least places where the polling stations are far away, you want to be able to have a mechanism in place where you can transport some of your much older voters. So an endorsement coming from Madame Celine may not only just come out with numbers or so, but it could also come with some financial. It could also attract financial, resources that the EDF campaign could be in their need of. So yeah. So at this point now,
in fact, I'm just getting a report that the guys then will put the picture up shortly, that former President Dr. George Weah have donated 205 bags of rice to Edith Gongloe campaign. But what I'm saying here is, do you think? I mean, President Weah should also go to Nimba and endorse Edith, like President Ellen Johnson said he did. Do you think his presence on Edith Gongloe camp will bring a lot of weight behind her?
Oh, I mean, obviously, I mean, the truth of the matter is that the CDC as a political institution has a functioning institution in Nima County. They do have, I mean, I think in the last election, they got about 50,000 votes. Of course, it was for the presidential election, but at least in a minimum, in a senatorial election, CDC could boast at least between 15 to 20,000 or more persons, and these kind of bad elections and stuff like that, sometimes 20,000 votes can be sufficient to be the one that take you to the finish line. So I think with WEA's endorsement and involvement, I think it will provide significant push. And I think I really don't know why sometimes it's good to be clear. I think it's good for him and the CDC to take the risk sometimes in politics. Because at the end of the day, like I said, when you go in, what happens is that two things. You win and understand your strength and influence there. You lose and understand where you fall short and what you need to do. Yeah. So it becomes a litmus test for you. You understand what then you need to do, what message you need to change, how you need to change your message, who are the people you need to allow, who are the new alliances you need to build. So I think it's a good thing to do so. Like what Cummings did, he openly endorsed Madame Gongloe. He takes ownership of what happens eventually. If she wins the election, of course, credit will be given to his endorsement. If she loses the election, at least you understand that he was there for her, and most of the people who support her tend to at least may have some kind of consideration for him in the future, for the fact that in the time of their need, he stepped forward. So it's a two-way street in this kind of thing. And oftentimes, these elections, the election in America is actually for the ruling party to lose. So the opposition get nothing really actually to lose if they win in the process. So they should go in with everything that they have. If they win, that's great. If they do not win, they use it to learn more about what they need to do better. So that's what it is,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that would be a lot. But what I'm looking at is that all the major opposition parties are not endorsing either way. We started with ANC, Mr. Cummings. Started with President Sirleaf, Vice President Joe Howard Tiller. Now we see President Weah just donated 200 bags of rice. I think President Weah should also go the extra miles and just doing that. I know he endorsed her, and I know Edith did support President Weah on the last election, and I think there's something that do you think CDC should reciprocate that what she did, because she did support CDC in the last presidential election. Don't you think CDC should come in full and support her, CDC?
Well, I think the understanding was that CDC, from what I understood, had tried behind the scenes to have the opposition present a single ticket for which they would have shown its support. And so in their engagement with Madame Gongloe, Mike and the other guy, Garrison or so, they were all adamant that they thought that they could win. And so I think they asked that the CDC stay out of the process and provide whatever support they can provide to them individually, because they believe that they could win. So I think as part of CDC, we're okay, but then we wouldn't put in the candidate, and will allow our partisans to decide, our partisans who are in NIMBA, to decide of the three of you who they want to choose the vote for, since three of you, wouldn't want to, one person would not want to step up for all of you, and CDC who don't want to be seen as taking a direct side against any of the opponents in the process. But I think as the process narrowed down now, and of course, EF is eventually evolving as the candidate who posed the most challenge to the regime candidate. I would think that the right thing for CDC to do now at this point in time is for them to throw weight behind either. If if the objective is that the ruling party should not win a seat, because I mean, whether you know at this point, you seem to be the one who is throwing the most serious challenge to Koga. So I think instead of dividing the vote, now I think CDC can reconsider its decision based on the facts on the ground. You know, its decision can be based on the facts on the ground. That as we get towards the elections, the number says or the fact says or that it puts the most, stand a better chance to win, in our commitment to ensuring that we want an opposition victory. We think at this point we want to try our weight behind it. I think it wouldn't be a flip. I think that's the best thing to do at this point.
Okay, yeah. So you believe that the citizens should show up and support it, because Ide was very supportive of the CDC during the presidential election.
No, but the truth is also Garrity was also very supportive of the CDC as well. In fact, I think he led CDC's campaign in Nimba. So that I think also Mark. So I think that's part of the reason why. That's one of the reasons why the party could not abruptly put its weight behind any of the guys instead of considering that other were involved with CDC last presidential attempt. So like I said, now that the variables are saying something else. Now that the variables suggesting that EDA stands a better chance, she posed the most challenge to the regime. I think CDC can now go back and call the guys and look, we want to win this thing. We don't want the opposition to win this thing. We think let's go with it. I think that argument will make sense. Or that will make logical. Yeah.
All right. So I saw Pewee in the back, but like he step out, he'll be joining us. So I mean, we definitely will see how that played out. So what happened? But there is this news that is trending. There's a video. You know, I know Liberians don't. I don't know whether the optics are right, but there's a video. Let me play this video, and then we'll also try to play the video with President Salid endorsing Ida. But let me go back to this video where the vice president was campaigning, and let me just add it. Go back to it. Play this. Let's see what we can play. Oh, guys, can we play this? It seems like we can. No, the video's not coming up. Okay, yeah, let me just go back. Let me just put it back to the normal size. Yeah, exit full screen. So, yeah, I'm trying to see what I could play the video.
And recommend somebody so that person can be your jail sender. Johnny for guys for yes, no. Second man. He could have gone to Sunny Golden Man and take Omen Batu. But they knew they were living together. So when you know about the era, he said, "Come, brother, come. Be there in jail, and Tottenham appointed Lofa Julius. One man, one time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe king number 1. Edward Como Saka king number 2 from Bam. Kehleboe from Tomalin. And Hilary Bombly. Pewee and Como Saka won the elections. When Pewee and Como Saka won the elections, the elders of Nimba, whether from the town side, from the B side, from the Matingo side, from the Peabody side, all of them went together, they went to President Doe. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the pool to elect their senators. 3 party king top. Kehleboe Gongloe, 1 man, 1 time. Fast forward, 1985, the Nima people went to the They said, President Doe will beg you. We went to election and 2 down parties won the election. We want you to help us because our country we let to be together. Please talk to one of the town senators to sit down and give a man senator the chance. President Toko Edward Komosago, 1 man, 1 town. Sits here today. The Honorable Margaret Kama, please can I TV proceed because when I want to be talking it. 1997, the Honorable Margaret Kama from Seattle for Tabatan here, and the Honorable George Koko, 1 man, 1 town, senator, name my country. Thank you, Mama. Take it. The poor line said, "Me man, produce woman senator here. That woman senator here." She served up to 2003 when Taylor left and the interim government came in. That when she left power. That was not the 7. 2005, the Lima people went to the pool and elected a Lofa Julius and Senator Prince Yomi Johnson. 1 man, 1 time. The Lofa was GM Senator. Senator Johnson was GM Senator for 9 years. The Lofa senatorial seat came to an end 2011. And Lofa was then the chairman of the Nima Lady Caucus. I'm told that Lofa brought in a very young, strong female to be senator of Nima. The Honorable, the superintendent, the Honorable Kehleboe Gongloe. And Lofa brought her. Talk to Tomalin Sanvee. This is my sister. May her superintendent of the county, I trust her. She became senator. Declared that she was running against the Lofa Julius. See the one saying that Johnson setting in. If she runs, she's powerful, a powerful. Will lost the seat. Madam Sanvee call her and say, I beg you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Madam Sanvee call her and say, my daughter, I beg you. Lead her sit there for a Lofa Julius. Now your brother, now my man. If 2 years ago, you will lose the seat. Don't get in the election. She says she will not do it. Madam said, you not do it, then you can say that in my government between the country, I'll fire you. Madam said, it's fire her. She went to the elections. Senator Groupie also entered the election. If you are not going to run and support Lofa, the breaking of the tradition that happened in 2011 were not going to happen. But she went.
Okay, we listened to the previous speech. I think we got a little farther, and we heard about Facility. Welcome, Neo Progressive Sylvester Pewee. Good to see you. To the key, you listen to that. Now there's this stuff going around about tribalism. You need to give somebody a chance from the county to run. So you listen to that speech. I want you to chime in there. I want you to chime in.
Well, I think he was trying to give a historicity of how they have operated the politics in their county, and I think he's using those sentiments as a basis of consolidating the people of Nima County behind his candidate. And so while we will not want to go into the specificity of those issues, but in a general terms of things, politics, democracy is not based on sectionalism. Is an open process of choice, where as many as can be qualified to enter the race, and the people should be free to select or vote for a person with whom they think can deliver the goods, not on the basis of tribal connection and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it takes vision, it takes ideology to move countries forward. So it's understandable if you vote for a person because you share similar ideology, similar vision for the country. But when the purpose of electing an individual to state power is fundamentally because of the person's tribal connection to you, I think it undermines the essence of multi-party selection, because the goal for that is that we are able to select the best, or the best will compete, and the people will freely select who they think can deliver the goods. So while their own tradition exists among themselves, and that is a specific issue, but in a general context, I think selection of a candidate should not be based on tribal or sectional sentiments. Rather, it should be based on who has the capacity, who has the record, who to deliver for the people. That's what I think. And so when the vice president is giving these kind of, you have to be careful, because there is a thin line in upholding your tradition and a thin line between tribal division. So as to how you present it has the propensity to create a divisive perception within the county. And so now that we see what's happening, if that was not his intent to be tribal, but I think over the last few days there has been tribal sentiment that has evolved in the politics, and whether all sides will be guilty of this, but it's something that we should resist in the new political dispensation we intend to form in our country.
All right. Sylvester, again, welcome. Sylvester, you listened to VP Cohn's speech. In fact, I want to read something here from the Front Page Africa entitled VP Cohn fueling tribal politics to sway Nima by election in favor of Representative Koga. I'm just going to read the first paragraph here, and then we go from there. It said, Nima County, in a bold and controversial move on the campaign trail in Nima County, Liberia Vice President Jeremiah Cohn openly embraced tribal politics as he campaigned for Representative Samuel Koga, a candidate of the Gil tribe for the vacant senatorial seat. Speaking under the rally crowd, this thing for the Gil people, VP Cohn remarks underscore a strategy built on ethnic alliance that has provoked both support and criticism. He also talked during the campaign stop. The VP Cohn laid a clear message to local voters. His speech emphasized that giving current Senator Nan D. Dwyer Jr., hails from the Mano tribe, the succeeding senator should come from the Gil tribe to ensure a balance between the two dominant ethnic groups in Nima County. Sylvester, is this fueling ethnic anything fueling ethnic divide in that county?
Absolutely, it's tantamount to that. It's a combination of greed and fueling some ethnic tensions and some level of tribalism, and for you to sound that way as the vice president of the country, it is not only preposterous, but it is very, very much a sign of being sensitive to the process about reconciliation and bringing the people back. And yesterday we were just here condemning that other psychopath, with the statement against the Mandingo people, and he came today to, it's good to sometimes they just kind of, and that's why I say he's mentally deranged, but it's good to come sometime and acknowledge your wrongdoing. Let me at least see some time to say that, the fact that he came today and apologized. But I want to think, I hope the apology is in good faith. But to tell you that this is systematic, it is not only coming from an individual that is distantly disengaged from the politics of the country, basically, if you will, in terms of understanding the direct nature of how we all engage into this process. But it's coming from someone that is now seriously nursing for the presidency as the current vice president of the Republic of Liberia. It's quite unfortunate that he was sound the way he sounded. Now, the intent is maybe he feared that someone in the opposition can win this election. If now, I'm not supporting Madam Gongloe, where I do have the sentiments. I'm now a brace voter, but I do have the sentiment to support the CMC candidate, if you will, in this process. But and something that I know he's doing very well into the process. But for the vice president to come out fearing that either may win these elections, if you will, now trying to bring some tribal divide, believing that the Guar ain't majority of the population in the country. So you go. Now the analogy he tried to give, it came down and collapsed right at the end. Now, and part of the analogy he was giving was working, believing using the Edward Kumo Sako scenario. No. Now, how will you allow someone? Edward Kumo Sako was and Samuel Doe were deliberate as to the reason he brought Edward Kumo Sako as Minister of Internal Affairs, because Samuel Doe wanted to have some support from the Nimba community. That's why he felt that at the time there was trouble, he sensed some problem coming from that. He believed he tried to ethnically balance his cabinet, particularly by bringing his major rivalry tribal group in the entire country, the Nimba people. He thought by bringing Edward Sako in would have been the line to strike the balance. That would have been the springboard to balance the process, because Edward Kumo Sako was the Minister of Internal Affairs for Nimba County. Very strategic man, and he played a very major role in terms of that, how he went across. So it was the reason why Mr. Doe saw the reason to appoint Mr. Sako as the Minister of Internal Affairs. Now, it came back to his analogy. You had Senator Spring Johnson Gill, you had Thomas Guppy Gill. They both Gill, they were all Gill the same as Senator of Nimba County. It's not an issue that he tried to shift blame on the other end to say the reason why. No, it's not a reason why. No, that's not true. If at the time, even if Manuel was not in the race when Adolphus Doro got defeated at the time, it would have been a problem for his re-election, because Prince Johnson openly stated in the Liberian Senate that he was going to canvass against Adolphus Doro, and he was going to bring someone that didn't live. Imagine, this is a man that didn't live in America in Liberia for more than 3 decades. Prince Johnson took him from here, took him to Nimba County, and he won the senatorial election against Adolphus Doro, who was very strategic, who also played some defense role for the people of Nimba County. The reason why Adolphus didn't get re-elected was because Prince Johnson openly campaigned against it. And at the time, Prince Johnson was enormously popular. His popularity was unconscionable, right? At the time, the Nimba politics was monolithic. Only Prince Johnson alone who controlled the narrative in terms of the politics. So it was difficult for anyone to canvass against him at the time, right? To suggest. So it was a difficult venture. But it's a sick. The Guild people being senator, both Guild men being senator before the county. It didn't harm the county. So the basic of the county is not to say you're going to push. It's not in the law that one Guild, one manor should be. If that's the case, you should not allow 2 Guild men to be senator at the same time. It defeats the purpose of his engagement. So listen, the vice president will have to revert to the appropriate thing to do. Now, if he's begin the process of veering off the line and try to instigate tribal politics or bring about tribal sentiments, it's a dangerous thing. If such a man is president of the Republic of Liberia, he will introduce serious tribal process that may just derail the country into serious chaos. It's about time that we speak up to these things. And that's why I don't know who his handlers are. But he's a very young man. He should be competent enough to know that he's saying things that are flammable. Those incendiary comments are not meant for this new Liberia we have, right? For a vice president to come out, if you don't have any thought process as to distract you to the news, to allow your candidate, you have all of the government resources you are pounding onto Koga. Everything you have, the money, the this, the that, are you compared to make the unreasonable debate about tribal politics? That's not a good thing for you to do. So listen, we have to open this process up to understand that these elections, I believe, the Nimba people, and it was a good thing. Listen, I didn't celebrate the homegoing of Mr. Johnson. Trust me. We regret his demise. But in other words, if the Nimba party will have to be competitive in terms of the way we go about voting for people in the country, because it's not only Nimba that person is going to represent, it's going to be a senator of the Republic also. So to see this kind of disgusting statement made by an incompetent vice president that ought to understand the role is troubling. So I mean, this is divisive, and this is part of the reason why we said yesterday that the vice president was fielding the tribal issue that was pushed yesterday by this how do you call it? I don't know what this is called this demented element called Prophet Key or so. So I mean, we have to stop the process of doing what we do, and people make statement and come out and say, "Oh, sorry." You don't make statement to hurt other people, then you can't say you're sorry. It's not the kind of way to do it. So we have to stay clear of the Liberian politics and do it in the way that will protect everybody's interest, and we move on together. We only need not tribal individual to be president or not president or senator. We need competent leaders at the Peabody that will steer the affairs of the country. I would have commended the vice president if he just came out to run campaign for his candidate and lead the tribal process out. I think it was a wrong permit. He said it was disgusting and unproductive on his part as a vice president of our country.
Siddiqui, I mean, Siddiqui, you've been following that. I mean, you got Nim, so people call him, and you are feeling just a division. We're right in that little Gil and Mana. They are all one people from the same county. And you are telling them, hey, this belongs to us, because the vice president comparison is they had a man there before. Now they have, so this won't belong to the guild or what? I mean, that's just right in the county and people being divided, because now, what if the mana doesn't win, either for the mana tribe, am I right? If he doesn't win, then the other mana pool feed that there and the guild, they are divided, and this could really bring some ethnic division. But I want to come in and chime in from that video you just watched, that the vice president, and what I just read. I want you to chime in.
So, good evening, everyone, and good to be here again. So, yes, I watched the video you played. I was in the background, but I've been watching the show. But look, I'm glad that Sylvester was able to point out some of the misinformation the vice president tried to, preach to the Liberian people in Nimba specifically. First of all, he lied. He said, Ile were asked to step out of the race, and because she refused, and Madam Sally had to fire her from the government. So just so the vice president know, today, Madam Sally went to the women fundraiser. She endorsed Ile. And she also talked about Ile leadership in her government, how Ile performed well, and how Liberians or the people of Nimba should rally around Ile and support her. So how can somebody fire someone, and at the same time come back again and does the same individual? But again, this narrative the vice president continued to preach in Nimba is very, very unfortunate. And, this just speaks a lot about the kind of individual he is, and the fact that some Liberians, both home and abroad, project this man to be the next president comes 2029. It's just so sad. This man go to every rally and say, this senatorial seat business of Nimba is between the Mano and the Gio. But here is the thing I want us to understand tonight. Nimba County, we have about 4 to 5 tribes in Nema. Not only the Mano and the Gio, as the vice president trying to make it to look like. We have the Gio, we have the Mano, we have the Crown people, we have the Mandingos, and we have even some Pele.
I think we right? I know the question. Yeah,
exactly. So if you go as a vice president, if you go, you lead the rest of the other tribes, and all you do, you focus on only 2 groups of tribes. You say Latin, like Gio and Mano thing, and then what about the other rest of the the other 3 tribes? What about them? And so this just speaks a lot about the kind of man Jeremiah Kun is, and and I can understand truly. I can understand because Jeremiah Kun never imagined himself to be vice president of Liberia today. Just running around, win a senatorial seat, other Prince Johnson influence, who him betray before the man could pass on. And then he was nominated to be vice senator to Joseph Parker, and then today he's a vice president. And he's thinking that he can be president of Liberia because now it's like they are running Jeremiah Kun campaign for 2029. Instead of telling the people what Koga would do, what Koga is capable of doing, they go to this campaign rally, they tell the people when we lost the election, it means that the VP chances of becoming president is, this is a complete joke. And the people of Nima, I know very well the people of Nima are smart people and they're not going to fall for this. I think the closing argument poster of video today on the page, wherein he went to a gallery trying to distribute money to people. And this is what they're doing. They have no message. Koga and the vice president and all the other folks who support them. Because for Prophet Key, all along that guy is always insulting. He's not always addressing issue. But the Koga guy, the Jeremiah Kun and the rest of the folks, they are not telling the Liberian people or the people of Nema what they're going to do. They have no agenda, no platform, no vision for the people, or no record that, we did this, and based on our record, it led us in all of those things. But they're not doing it. They're being tribalistic. And I think this is very, very unfortunate. And Jeremiah Kun being a vice president of Liberia, this is a total embarrassment to us. Because as a whole sitting vice president, you go to a campaign rally. You're not telling the people. In fact, Jeremiah Kun should be now explaining to the people of Nima that, look, with over a year and some months, this is what we've been able to do. And so when you elect Koga will be able to help us to achieve more. But they're not doing that because they've done nothing for the people. And Liberians, we should try to ask people the hard questions. But I can understand, the hardship that all those guys have created in the countries. They take advantage of that. They give the people money, thinking that will kind of buy the people. And the only time Jeremiah could go back to Nima and do all those things he's doing whenever there are elections, and that's the only time, but it's very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And what you say about Ile today is a lie. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf endorsed Ile today. She told the world that Ile was a good, contributor to her administration, and she encouraged the women of Nima country to stand with Ile. And so for Jeremiah Kun to say, Ellen fired Ile because she not listened to Ellen, that's a misinformation. And it just speaks a lot about the kind of person he is. Thank you.
Abu Sabara.
Before you bring in Abu Lazo, before you bring Abu, this is very serious. I forgot to start on. I think the closing argument is just announcing this. So we've been working behind the scene, and I think Abu then created something this morning. We have 2 major past student leaders in our country. Now in the past, some of them, I think Vanny just is still active. Both of them, they are critically ill. One of them is currently in India. The former FLA president, Augustine Tama, is currently in India. And
Augustine Tama.
Come again?
Vanny Jesse. Augustine Tama.
And that of Vanny Jesse. Vanny Jesse is former legal president and the All African UN, I think, president currently. They are both very critically ill. Those of us that are following the show that know those students, we just want to keep them in your prayers. The student community, we from the advocacy background, from past student community, we've been involved into a kind of authentic effort to ensure that we get Vani out of the country. But your thoughts and prayers are very, very much important at this critical time. While we work behind the scene to get all of this, and it's a very huge effort in the country and outside the country to ensure that the both comrades will be revived again by the grace of God. So we just call on your support whatsoever way. But the main support we need from you is your prayers for both Vani and that of Tamba at this very critical junction that the both of them found themselves. So Vani is staying in Monrovia, critically ill in Monrovia. Tamba is in India, but Tamba is on his process. But we're trying to get Vani out also to join Tamba or whatsoever will get him so that he get the kind of a medical attention that he really deserves to save his life. It's a life-threatening illness at this junction. He's seriously ill, actually, and it's about time that we all push this process to amplify our tones and rally the support behind them. That are Peabody. Sorry that I'm doing this, but yeah, we have to do it. These are comrades that we all serve before, and we continue to serve the country. So we have to do this for them at this critical and very, very, very much needed time of their soldiers. So I just thought to do this before Comrade Abu can come in. I think Abu.
Sylvester, Abu is
also one of those. Abu is one of those that started the process. When I got this information last evening before we left the show, while sleeping during our time, when I woke up this morning, I just saw Abu have already added me to the very massive chat room they opened, and people just playing role into it. I think it's a very good thing. So we all should go along that process. Thank you, Peabody. Abu, you can go ahead now.
I think we need to keep them in our prayer as well. And Sylvester, if there's a need for us to just host something to help those people have a show, just to see who will be willing to donate and do something like that, I think we need to do that.
I will be super happy if we were to do that, because these are two very powerful student leaders. Augustine Tamba served the Federation of Liberian Youth President, and then also Vani Justice served as the president of NISU, and currently the president of the All African Union, the global process. And I mean, they both they contributed to the democracy of our country. They contributed in rallying students to stand firm. And these are the kind of way we all did back from the University of Liberia, other universities. It's a combination of all of our efforts that we now try to bring to bear by praying for them, giving the word of Mike what we can do to rally the support back in Monrovia and in India to ensure that we seek God guidance and blessing upon them first and foremost. Then we also rally for support that will go to those two powerful young men that also contributed tremendously.
You're right. That's
so we can find a day. We can do that anytime. Hopefully, if not
day, we can bring
Monday,
a couple folks.
We can do that. It's going to be an ongoing process.
Yeah,
this ongoing process. Yes, thank you.
I'll be very open to that. I'll be very open that we can also do something to help them, because that's what we are here for.
Yeah,
that's what we're here to help those in need, and the best you can ever do to help somebody that's in need. So I look forward to that, and when we do that, then we will always be willing to chip in our little might as well to help all of that. Abu, come in. You are supporting the UP having Coca, and Abu.
But quickly, let me start by extending my unqualified gratitude to Senior Comrade Pewee. His action today demonstrated nothing less than being a generous big brother. I placed an impromptu call. That was after I added he and eminent sons of the Republic to a chat room where Vani Jersey, a brother, a student leader, was being announced ill, critically ill, deposited at a hospital somewhere around the Marshall area. So when I got a call, what did I do? I added all of those who I have in the access to, the leg of the former finance minister, the current finance minister, Pewee, Senator Snow, all these people, even the former president, I added him in the chat room. So as we stand, the comrades are actually doing our best, and we are counting on people who No funny Jesse. Even you may not know him, but the role you have played, amplifying the roles of students, speaking out, speaking against ills in government, speaking against ills in society, speaking against ills that that got it that keep subjecting on people to either poverty and the rest of it. Sidiki, good to see you. Senior Comrade Ahmed Safonik and Sidiki Kumar, good to see you as well. But quickly, let me address some of the concerns being raised that has to do with the vice president remark today on a campaign trail. Like anybody would do as a leader of the county, it is fair to be an impartial person. It is no secret the late Senator Brent Johnson, was a Guar man. We already have a sitting senator that is representing the man of Bell. Agree, I'm not one person who is a fan of a tribal politics, but it is fair to say, as a leader of a county, there should be a balance of power. So I don't see anything wrong, if not sentiment. I don't see anything wrong with the vice president remark or preaching to the electrics that it is time to give the Guar people their own part of the national cake that is offered in Lima. To take for an example, the late Senator Brent Johnson, he did campaign during the 2020 elections. Current vice president, what is his name, Jeremiah Cohn, again, they seen either Gongloe woman. And what was the campaign message? The campaign message at the time was elect somebody who has been a member of the legislature, who has vast experience in a legislature, to put forth the interest of the people of Nimba. So what wrong with a sitting vice president? A man who wants to showcase dominance goes to a campaign rally, plead to the conscience of the electrics to have his candidate voted. And somebody comes on the show, is it a man being tribalistic? Have you asked yourself the previous administration when Joe Howard Taylor were canvassing for Marvin Cole against what the fellow named Henry Toba? I think that's being hypocritical. If you actually want to blast the vice president, you should not blast him for his role in the electoral in these elections. Because obviously, like anybody would do, even Sidiki who sit on the show, if you are a leader of a home, it is onus upon you to do an equitable distribution of whatever numeration all of the children are supposed to get. So I think the vice president is doing so, and he's voting in the right direction. I'm very certain that over this time next week, Samuel Kuka will be announced as the next senator of Nima County. I don't see anything wrong with that. He being an impartial person to plead to the people of the man of Bell to have Samuel Kuka elected. Because Samuel Kuka automatically, if he's elected as senator, why is sure you'll be senator of all the Banians, but you will be a representation, a direct representation of the Guar people. You already have a sitting senator who is Nyantoya, representing the man of Bell. So I think it is against that background. He abandoned all of his activities in Morovia, go to Nimba, other people in Nimba. I think it is time to emulate nothing less than united peace, except for people who trying to politicize his remarks that has to do with vote for Samuel Koga. He's a veteran when it comes to the legislative proceedings. He has vast knowledge. All of the contenders in these elections, none of them have vast knowledge as compared to Samuel Koga. None of them. Samuel Koga has been in the legislature for 13 freaking years. Why is Ile Gongloe experience as a legislator? So if anybody to be voted for, if not, like Samuel Koga, we should not even be discussing either. Either have never been a member of the legislature. Garrison Yulu has been a member of the legislature. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. If not politics, I don't know why it's it. For somebody to say the vice president is vigorously campaigning and he against a lady who deserves a share of a national cake. Nobody is against Ile Gongloe. Ile Gongloe is a farm public servant. I follow her track record when she was superintendent. She served excellently during the Manasari administration. Nobody is doubting that. But one of the things that may impede her bid is because of the tribal politics. And I'm very confident that these elections will go the Samuel Koga way because the people of the Kehleboe quest is to have a balance of power and nothing less than that.
All right, welcome. See, Chief Tomalin George, welcome. I want to go back to the endorsement today by President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf drove all the way to Nima and endorsed openly Mother.
No, not Nimba. It was in Monserrato around her house.
Oh yeah,
it was in Monserrato. It was in Monserrato.
Yeah, thank you. But she did openly endorse that. And also, we seen the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia made a video endorsing Mrs. Gongloe, where President George former Vice President. You're right. I don't know what I'm thinking of. And the former President of Liberia, George Weah, donated 205 bags of rice. Tomalin, you just came, Siddiqui and I talked about this. I mean, Hamed and I talked about this earlier. Do you think President Weah should go further in openly coming up with endorsing her or even campaigning with her? Tomalin, Madam Joa Howard Tiller, and George Weah on the campaign trail with either Garguah. Do you think they should go further? Okay, Tomalin is on the phone, right? Tomalin, you coming in?
Can I come in?
Tomalin is on the phone. I was just spoke for almost 6 minutes.
No, I've been out of here for a while, dude.
Yes.
So man, after my CDC brother said I was told by the government for coming on issue. I'm here for good out of people. I just want to throw light on that.
Are you on the phone? What are you doing? Tomalin is on the phone because he's frozen.
He's freezing, yeah, he's freezing.
Yeah. But I want to go to Sylvester, Abu, and then we'll come back to you and then go to Hamed. But I want Sylvester to chime in this.
I think Tomalin is okay.
Tomalin back?
Yeah. The former Vice President on the phone, okay? Madam VP, you're on the post. The former Vice President on the phone, Madam Joa Howard Tiller.
Good evening.
You can hear her?
Yeah.
Good evening, Madam former Vice President.
Can you hear me?
You guys can hear her, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Madam former Vice President. We can hear you.
Someone who on the phone?
The former Vice President.
Oh, okay.
The former VP,
Tomalin, we are glued, though. We are glued. Money seems to be freezing.
No, I think they got some communication problem there.
Well, hold on.
Everybody, can we be talking while somebody trying to connect the former VP?
Yeah, so we gotta just sing to us, and we'll bring it back on.
I want to say we all appreciate what she has done over the years, Madam Kehleboe Gongloe, and my prayer is that she will get elected on next Tuesday and bring a whole new era of leadership to the people of Nima County.
You guys ready?
I want to call on the people of the National Patriotic Party and all of those who are independent and maybe standing on the side, not knowing what to do, to give their support so that Kehleboe Gongloe will win the elections on Tuesday. So this is just my message to the people of Nima County this evening.
Madam Vice President, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Hello, Madam.
One at a time, guys.
Madam Vice President, it's good to have you on the show. We appreciate your presence. It's always a wonderful thing to hear your voice, providing direction, whatever way it is. And so we are happy to have you tonight. But your endorsement comes barely 5 or 6 hours after your party through its chairman have endorsed Honorable Koga, claiming that it was the decision of the National Executive Committee of your party, the NPP? Is there something? Is there a consultation there, or would you like to respond to something like that?
Well, the fact of the matter, I've spoken about women's leadership for many, many, many years. It would be very selfish of me at this point to go any other way, because I believe it is time for NIMA to elect a competent female to the Liberia Senate. It will increase the number of women in the Senate. It will also bring a whole different level of leadership to Nima County. And I think the people of Nima County will be better off. So I saw the comment made by Honorable Moluba. For me, as stand-up of the MPP and a female who's interested in female leadership, taking different positions across our government, I'm supporting Madam Kehleboe Gongloe.
Sylvester, go ahead.
A follow up, please.
One question.
As the former VP is not, she's not a guest tonight. She was.
Let me say a wonderful good evening to you, Madam Vice President. I know I got a deep history also of following the NPP. My late father, Professor Pewee, played a major role, served as vice chair before of the party, and I understand the weight of the NPP. But my point to you, Madam Vice President, will you personally, I don't know if you announced that, or will you personally, because I know the weight of NPP in Nimba County, particularly with the name, the former President Charles Gange Taylor and the NPP. Will you personally move into Nimba County and canvass for Madam Kehleboe Gongloe?
I wish I was able to do so. A few months ago, I had surgery and I'm still at home recuperating, so I'm unable to go to Nimba. So I've made a voice message and I've sent it to the radio stations. I think they will be playing it over the next few days. The media is a very powerful tool. You may not be present physically at a particular place, but your voice can carry a lot of weight. And that's why I wanted the people of Nimba and those who are in the MPP to follow my lead, and let's work to elect Madam Kehleboe Gongloe as the next senator for Nimba County.
Thank
you. Can I go ahead?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay.
The Vice President
she just took us so much time where she had called to make this to double down endorsement.
Oh, okay. No worries.
You're planning for her to come after the election. She'll be coming here.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, when Samuel Kuga is elected, I'll send it. We'll do the post analysis.
Your dream.
I will be here.
What the man I thought he said neutral, man.
I'm neutral, but I endorse anybody.
Then he said in your dream, I recorded it though. You know, the show is being recorded. It's in your dream.
I say for anybody. So come on.
No, he said in your dream.
Let's go back to President. Now, President, we have a former president, a former vice president, and another two former presidents, I may say, even though he had not come up, but if you donated 205 bags of rice, is there any indication that he's leaning to endorsing her or supporting her in the campaign? So what do you?
I'm hearing too that I don't know, but we're not announcing about.
Yeah, but too many. Let me come in.
We're happy on Saturday in Nimba. If all goes well, it will be a big climax of the campaign in Nimba Saturday. With a lot of interesting people might be in Nimba. But from what I was told, they keep the names down yet until they officially make.
But Abu, let me ask you. Abu, I'm posing the question to you. Is President Jallah going to be in
Nimba? Your bossman donated $25,000 to Kehleboe campaign.
Against me, against me.
They say,
this is against me.
Allegedly.
Abu, is President Jallah going to be?
A lot of people are go ahead, Chief.
Is President Jallah going to campaign in Nimba?
Yes, sir.
Is President Jallah going to campaign for coca in Nimba?
No.
President Jallah will not be in Nimba. President Jallah, as you may be aware, he's the Cuban president. He has instructed the vice president to He has instructed the vice president to work other local officials in Nimba and other eminent sons and daughters of Nimba County to canvass for Samuel Koga. You, as you may be aware, last son of the Unity Party,
To
through
use
its
all
officials,
government money in the
read
program.
an endorsement statement in favor of Samuel Koga. And since then, the vice president has been in the county, he has been living from place to place. He's campaigning as it was as it was mandated by the president.
President not going. It said that he's not physically able to campaign or
We have a government to run, Dr. Peabody. What do you mean? We have a government to run. The vice president is representing the government. We have a government to run. Is he not physically fit?
Because this is a very crucial election, and one would think that the president of Liberia, who will go to Nima, who won there the last election, will go there and present the candidate.
Fortunately for us as a government, we have our vice president in from Nima. So the vice president will simplify dominance again once more. He just told you that Samuel Koga will be the next senator. You have seen Samuel Koga rallies. And people are coming to contribute their Dan, Nico to the campaign process.
That numbers doesn't really tell you that you can win an election. Don't mind the number. Like people come to eat and see, and then they leave. So
didn't you see? If you say that now, reminisce on 2023 September when we had the rally. Didn't you see the people trooping into the water?
And how
the people did go there willingly. They were not coerced.
How many votes you won by? If they had all that numbers, how many votes you
won? The fact is that we were able to defeat an incumbent.
My point is, you had millions. How many votes did you got win?
We have millions. No, but let me address the assertion that has to do with the former president giving 200 and some more thousand bags of rice. The CDC as an institution, did a pre-release. So I think the former president donation to EDF campaign is a contradiction to a political party statement that was read.
Don't try to.
No, that'll be bad.
Let's talk about why your president is not going to support a candidate. That's what we should talk about.
We have our vice president. We have a political party. The political party is being run. It's being run by the chairman. You saw the National Secretary General of the Unity Party at our endorsement statement reading. Did you not see him? You saw other scope of officials of the Unity Party. They were there. Why should we narrow the conversation to the president? The president have a country to run. He's busy studying the affairs of the country. He has instructed the vice president. No, that'll be bad. I'll have to learn.
Let me go to City Key.
No, I'm not freezing up. No, I'm not freezing up. Let me learn.
You already heard you.
No, but you. The topic on discussion.
Can I go to City Key? My question on the show, you already said that you got government to run, and that's why I told the broadcast is not.
I will have to answer that question. You talk about the former president giving 200 and more.
I was trying to interrupt you.
They always be organized. You can't really get disturbing, brother.
We'll come back. City Key. Why do you think the president himself is not going to throw a weight behind Mr. Koga?
Basically,
I get it feedback.
Yeah, okay. I think it's okay.
You scared? You're talking plenty.
Yeah, so
he get it feedback.
Yeah, so I want to agree with Abu. You know, the president instructed the vice president to go there. But here is a question I want to maybe Abu can kind of respond to that. Like you said, if the president instructed the vice president to go to Nimba in campaign and do everything that he's doing today. So can we also say that part of that instruction that was given to the vice president was to go and preach tribal politics in Nimba, to divide the people, to put a picture out there without giving the people clear message, to just go and be very tribalistic, as we've seen the vice president, doing everywhere. No message. He's not telling the people what the government have accomplished over a year and some months. He's not telling the people why they should vote for Koga, but everywhere he goes, he talk about this is a mama and guillotine, and we have 5 different tribes in Nema. So if you only bringing this down to only 2 tribes, that means you are depriving the rest of the 3 tribes from this entire process. So was this the exact instruction the president, the vice president received from the president?
Sure answer now. See, Sidiki, if you
Yes,
were
I get
listening attentively, okay, if you were listening attentively during my previous section when I came on the show, and I'm going for those that were not on the show, I'm going to re-amplify what I said. I said, as a leader would do, we always run on an impartial judgment in respect of who's are going to benefit. This vice president, upon swinging the office, created a vacancy. At the time, Senator Yan Twain was a candidate. Candidate Yan Twain. This vice president communicated with all of the radio stations across Nimba, asking sons and daughters of Nimba County, both from the Mano Bell and the Gio Bell, to rally around Yan Twain. Because at the time, we already have the senator representing the Gio people, the late Senator Prince Johnson. Today,
but that's
he
not the only
asking
2
the
tribes
Mano people to reciprocate. I come in,
we
Chief.
only have 2
Today,
tribes. Yeah.
my man, listen now, Chief. Listen. Today, listen, my man, listen. Siliki, listen now, Chief. Today, the vice president is asking the people from the Mano Belt to reciprocate what the Gio people did for them when Yan Twain was fighting for the senatorial position.
Okay. All right. God, let's move on. Tomalin wanted to play a video. Let me see. But let me go to Sylvester. Sylvester, why do you think President Baka himself will not show? Normally, in this kind of election, the standard bearer of the party will show up to give the senator support all over. We see. I mean, I don't want to compare like Greater Western where people love people want them to come because they serve the weight. They bring a very heavy weight when it comes to supporting the candidate. Why President Baka only rely on Jeremiah Cone? Don't you think his presence will give Koga even a heavier weight?
Yeah, 2 things. I think this time around, I think I would sound this way, and I want to believe that's the thought process of the president. And if that is, then it's a good thing to do. Now, the reason I believe he's doing this, he's trying to leave a legal room wherein for this statement of the process of plausible deniability, in the event if any of those other individuals were to win, he go to them and say, "Hey, I didn't campaign against you. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But I'm opening." So he tried to create the legal room here, moving forward. And secondly, he's not as vibrant as you want to think he is to be all over the place campaigning and trying, because he's one of the major things I believe the president is focused on now is this process about trying to leave an escape route to say, "Hey, I did not open a campaign against you," because he believed that Koga is a toxic element, right? A toxic candidate. He want to go, he give it all to Koga. In the event of anything, if you were to go and gamble this, and Koga is defeated in the process, then people will say that this is a referendum on his government. So he, as the principal, don't want to appear. Then tomorrow he's going to create this room of possible deniability. That's the main reason why the president is not going to surface here. An attempt to go and move in this process, and he's defeated. Then they blew a ship on his government that the president campaigned for Koga, and Koga didn't win this process. So he's leaving it ready to re-go through the line to go through there, right? So that's the major reason. Another reason why he's doing this politically, if Mike Bloomberg were to win, or Kehleboe Gongloe, where he will go and say to them, "Hey, I can work with you," because he would need some of those individual senators to push the program. Particularly, Nima is a strategic candidate, so that's one of the reasons. And then good leader, I would have done the same as president. To be very honest, I want to be very honest now. I would have been very honest to not gamble a process here. Now he's pushing, he's leaving everything with the vice president because he's from Nima. And this also is going to be on the vice president's shoulder now. If they were to be hit The basic process that's going to unfold, he's not going to be seriously challenged. And this is something that I'm inclined to believe the president himself is not even openly going to say. The president is not thinking about even endorsing him to be president and running mate. The president is contemplating contesting for a re-election come 2029, right? So he doesn't want to see this process of going against a potential individual that may win the elections, and then the president start to go after the president 2029 in the next election. So it's part of the reason why he's not going to venture. So he's not going to be part of this. That's my guess. I may be wrong, but I want to believe he's thinking strategic to have a room to say, hey, this is plausible deniability. I didn't do this. My deputy did it, so there'll be room for us to work together and moving forward. I think there's the main reason behind it's not going. And he's not going. I don't think he's going to venture there for the next couple of days left for the remainder of the campaign time we have.
Tomalin.
Well, if Liberia was doing scientific polling, President Bugger's approval rating will be between the low 30s right now. So, in an election of this nature,
Tomalin said the low, I think the low 30?
Low 30s right now, yeah.
The low 30s.
Yeah. So in a special election of this nature, the last thing you want to do is to go and temper with your political capital you got, the little one you got right now. You want temper it because, like people regularly said, it's an election that first you have a candidate that's very flawed candidate you have right now. You got a lot of issues, a lot of baggages, and you want to be very careful because if they go to the election, the president is sitting there campaigning, and then in the event, if somebody else win the election, it will reflect on him. And so he didn't want to play with that. Let my VP go. Anything, at least I was not present. You see, I don't want to. That's why you see, notice even some other top gurus will not just go there right now because they'll be very careful. So the president he's dealing with a VP. And right now the VP is, I can tell you right now, from what I noticed today and from I'm hearing, he's struggling right now to really keep to win this election because that's why you see, even the comment that Prophet Key made, if you were advising the VP and Koga, you are going to say, Sonny, we reject your endorsement. But you can't just condemn and say, we think they take an endorsement. They would have we condemn.
But the VP has started the same way today. By saying manner and thing. He had evidence that.
Do you think what President Bugger want to find himself in?
No, he won't.
Where they may want insulted women for 6 years. Okay, and then you won't be identified with that person right now. Take it, no problem. Let him do his endorsement and be far from you. But you condemn his statement and also say, "Oh, we reject your endorsement. We don't want it. You happy in America here?" So people can say, "Look, I don't want a person endorsement." While it is true that they still want it, but just for the record, they're saying we don't want it. That's what's happening. So, but I don't want to take that risk to go and put his on record, see exact campaign, and then they win election. You won't do that. Right now, to the extent where the VP says something today, Madam Salif was not, Gongloe was not fired by Madam Salif, but because Madam Gongloe wanted to run in election, and she asked that she resigned. So to say she was fired, that was a wrong assessment of Madam Gongloe. I mean, so that would call somebody you're desperate for to get this vote. It's not an easy election that's going right now. And mind you, Peabody, before I start, the endorsement of Madam former President Salif is big. You know why it's big for? She's a member of the Unity Party. And number two, she's the former president, right? And by right, her party, she would choose to be silent. But her party, she distanced herself from her party, telling herself, look, I'm not part of the Unity Party right now. That put her endorsing Koga, and I'm not part of them. I even just heard before I got on the show that the pro team was even thinking of going to go endorse Koga, but I think right now, I think she was doing it because what happened in the news from today. So the pro team, I don't think she will make that trip in Nimba to go and see all the women beyond Madam Gongloe. Then it will affect her political career tomorrow. So I think she's not even going to make that trip to Nimba again. So it's not more important. Madam Salif came up, Madam George, and these are top women on the national stage. If they give endorsement to Madam Gongloe, you don't want to be as a female political leader on the landscape to go and be part of that and to go endorse opposite. It will reflect bad on you. So I think all that stuff today was very important. So Boga will not go now. You won't go Nimba.
Wow, that's something. But I know there are other ways. You're thinking if I indulge him, but it's a good way to test the water to see.
Yeah, they may, what some of the things they would do behind the same is that they will rather support, they will rather resource mobilization. There will be huge resource mobilization from their end. They will want that. One of the things they're doing now to allow most of the chiefs, and they will use soft power and hard power. Sometimes the soft power would be to give money, and the hard power will be to use something to co-opt other people to force them to join the campaign, or threatening them of their jobs if not. So they would manage to do some, and then yet what's going to happen? Those that will use hard power on and some of the soft power, they will pretend to support Koga, and when they go to vote, they won't vote for Koga. So this is the tendency. So you have to be those that would not be willing to vote for Koga actually wouldn't be forced to do it. If you force them, they will actually not vote when they enter the polling booth. They will do whatever they intend to do. So it's a very hard spot to find themselves. And that's why the president tried to tread in a more careful way and play the role as a leader. Maybe probably to not have blame shifted on him after Tuesday night next week. And basically, we hope to see what's going to happen. And that's my prediction of what's going to happen. But I believe I'm still firm here that Koga will be defeated. Something is just saying to me that Koga will be defeated. And this defeat of Koga is going to send a very disintegrating fuel in the ranks of Kung and whatsoever he's planning to do. But again, that is what is unfolding in the country. And as Tomalin stated, the approval rating of the government, the president, is not good. Is that we don't do scientific pool in the country, so we only want to know it, right? But it's not a good thing to do. If you are to one day, just take time and walk in radar market, do a tracking of the marketers and the younger boys and those that are coming to market to buy, move into Waterside and Radical Market, do the same, move across the country, go places, because when people are tracking prices in the country, normally they give prices from places like Kehleboe, right? Because it's another business hub area. Kehleboe, Ganta, Kak City, Kakata, Zozo. Those are major other areas that you see things moving in terms of economic viability. If you see people in those areas complaining, your first hammer for gallon gas, hammer for 25 kg backup rice, and engage the folks, engage parents that are paying the children's school fees in most of the private schools, and see the kind of a way the amount have been going up. Engage those that are commuting every day to go to town and back. The commuting fee, the amount they paid from just before, I can recall my boss was telling me to leave from Dixie into FDA before we were just finding me. So come back, you're paying around $500-600. Now it's almost $900 to just commute between and those areas and what have you. So it's just a difficult process. Chicken feet, for instance, that's a regular way people just find soup to do their little steal. Chicken feet now, maybe 5 chicken feet. It was about $1,500 now. 5 chicken feet. I mean, that's the way we know things are difficult in the country. 5 chicken feet, now you're talking almost, that's a 2-3 chicken feet. So the price is going on pepper, for instance, just 3 will be for this and that. So the people go in the market, so it's difficult in the country. So if you can't do anything huge to change the mass of the people in terms of that, there's going to be a problem we're going to face. I mean, the administration is faced with. So you don't need joking thing to come and fat up dumping those hope. No. It's a serious thing. And Tomalin was right about that. So they have to do something serious. And Sonny Siwa will be at least to take shame for their face to manage to win this election and pretend that things Sonny. No, even if you win the election, nothing changed in terms of the eyes of the people of Liberia. But it's something that I believe is going to be a difficult venture. And that you may likely get a slap in the face or political blood in nose. That telling you your stewardship is not on course. You need to reshape of your decision, basically. Reshape the gear. If you are in gear, stay in gear 1, move. Charles will say get in gear 4.
Tomalin, did I hear you say Koga is a flaw?
Hey, Koga is not he's a flaw candidate. That'd be frank. You know that. He talked to let somebody do that.
Gonna buy, man.
There's a feedback coming from somewhere here.
Okay. Look, Abu, it's not no argument about that. You know that this guy, he's a waiting all the people going there.
No, but that's a concession though. I say man of flaw.
It's a flaw candidate. That'd be frank. Why not issues
Among
behind?
the contenders who have vast knowledge internal legislative proceeding as compared to Koga.
Wait, got the procedure. Tell me what bill he has sponsored.
I mean, among the contenders.
Okay, but if you get
who are more knowledgeable internal legislative proceeding as compared to Koga.
What bill have you preferred? Have you sponsored or co-sponsored in the legislature for 13 years, for 18 years? What bill?
This man has been in a hot for one. He has been in a hot for 1 decade, 3 years.
But what happened?
Then you say he accepted budget.
Well, I sponsored this bill that impacted the Liberian people.
What bill he has sponsored?
Yes. So you know it. So let's leave it. You play that.
So how do somebody get re-elected? The man came on a very show. The man came on a very show. What?
Okay.
Let's stop being sentimental, man.
So the reason why I can play the endorsement for Koga by Perfect Keys because too much of abusive language.
Hello?
What I can play it for.
Hello?
Your network.
Hello?
We hearing you. We hearing you. The reason why we cannot play Koga endorsement by Perfect Keys because he said on endorsement, he said if the man don't win, if the man wins and go in the House, in the Senate, when he started misbehaving, he was going to put the man down. So we can play that kind of thing here. You see? So it won't be fair. Let me play the thing. Okay, I play now.
Taylor, the former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and
feedback,
greetings, the resilient and progressive citizens of Nimba County. I am Jewel Howard Taylor, the former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and standard bearer of the National Patriotic Party. I extend my heartfelt greetings and unwavering commitment to the advancement of inclusive governance in our beloved country. Today, as a long-standing gender advocate, I am honored to publicly endorse the candidacy of Madam Edith Gongloe, the only female contender in the Nimba County senatorial race. I therefore appeal to all citizens of Nimba County, particularly our mothers and sisters, and all loyal members of the National Patriotic Party to stand with Madam Ware at the polls. Let us unite in support of a competent, reliable, and visionary daughter of the soil who has dedicated her life to the service of her people. Indeed, the time has come for Nimba to balance the senatorial scale by electing a qualified woman who will represent your voices with integrity and passion. Vote wisely. Vote Madam Edith Gongloe.
And for the record, we could have played. We also played the endorsement for Koga, but because of the language being used in it, that's why we can't play. So it won't be fair.
Which language being used? Are we running PR or Edith? Which language being used?
If I play it, got your.
Is that language have a public consumption? Which language now?
He said if Koga wins the election tomorrow and he started to mess up, he'll put his mother down and then he said plenty behind it. I can't play that kind of thing here.
Who said that now? Who said put mother down?
Perfect Key.
Perfect Key.
Yeah. No, but there are several activities that our reporters in Nimba that are covering Koga campaign trails. Cover, what can you play some of that instead of playing Perfect Key?
No, but we talking about endorsement now. I endorsement there, so we play that endorsement.
No, but the Unity Party endorsing, you can play that too.
We play.
You can play that.
We'll play.
They may have campaign trail today. They may have campaign trail in Tabata. Why can't you play? They may have a campaign trail there. You can play that too.
They play the main campaign video before the start of the show.
Hey, they play everything here. My guys,
they play Jamaican voice when you spoke about
and for public consumption, the vice president condemned in the stronger terms for key session I have to do with the Madingos. Fortunately for Hamed Safonik Sidiki Kumar and myself, we are all Madingo. We strongly condemn that the vice president condemn it. If the candidate who he endorsed condemn it.
Yeah, but
So I don't think we should be wasting our time on that.
condemning is one thing, but then you should have said, because of that, we don't want this man part of our campaign. You're pushing away.
No, you can't do that. Let me tell you, no, you can't do that. Too money.
And they sanction it.
No, too money. They did not sanction it. Stop that, too money. No, we did not sanction it. Too money. You gotta stop that. Stop that. You are an independent person, and it is my hope that you remain on short path. We did not sanction it. The vice president rejected that statement. The candidate who Sporaki endorsed rejected that statement. And there were other people, even today, EFBC. Samuel Koga spoke on EFBC for almost 20 minutes. He did not only condemn Prophet Key, but he asked Prophet Key to retract whatever assertion he made that has to do with the Madingos. So how he comes on the show and say we sanction it? That's wrong to me. No, the man did not know sanction anything, Chief. How you say that? The man didn't sanction anything.
The problem is that then they should tell him yesterday when he on the campaign. Getting away.
How is that possible? What do you mean? What do you mean? That is you guys are the same people who say when children brothers say, oh, well, anybody to be president, you're taking out of contest. The point is, when you have 5 an elected position, you don't control all of your supporters. That's a 5. You don't control all your supporters. Too many, let's say for an example, you want to be a representative or you want to be a senator. You think all of those who vying for you or all of those who canvassing for you that are in a transit or that will be in a transit, you're going to sanction whatever thing is they're going to say to the electors.
I want to sit on the platform with them in my president made a statement.
Yeah, but they rejected it, they contain me. So what you want to have on them?
You should tell him, say, well, because they say, well, if he cannot retract his statement.
So did he then do it?
No, he did not. They told him
no, you gotta stop that too money. The vice president. If I were you, I would have put up the vice president statement here. The vice president made a statement.
When they asked him today, he said he tried to twist it. Then he said he attacked and he said that Musa Bedete. So it's still we Musa Bedete. Musa Bedete is Mandugo, right? So so tell me now. So what are you trying to say?
But the first thing here is the video that is circulating that Prophet Key is heard insulting the mother of one of our leaders, Chairman Musa Bedete. That video is fake. Prophet Key did not insult the mother of Chairman Musa Bedete.
What he just did today, when he said if guys
and trust me, irrespective of our side, Musa Bedete remain one of our leaders. In fact, Musa Bedete contributed immensely to the growth of our community and most of our leaders. So nobody will insult Musa Bedete and think that they're going to walk scot-free and will not retaliate. Prophet Key, listen,
he doubled down.
No,
yeah,
but we condemn it. What do you mean? We condemn it.
Condemn what? You don't make progress, man. Stop
You gotta stop it to money. How you say the man sanction now? You gotta stop that to money. How you say that?
You should disavow it, man. They can get away from them until he can retract his statement he made yesterday. If he cannot do it, then why let Prophet Key
Representative Samuel Koga and Samuel Koga has asked Prophet Key to retract his statement. And you condemn the statement in a stronger term and ask him to retract his statement. That view does not represent he Koga view. So you gotta stop that, man. Even the vice president said it.
Yeah, you say what?
Endorsement today. What they here for you?
The endorsement today,
who endorsement again?
What endorsement I've done today?
Well, I will give me a chance, my brother. Yeah, the endorsement today,
Go ahead, bro. But the message endorsement, who endorsement? Plenty people endorse.
Wow.
But I said he endorsed, Joe Taylor endorsed. Who endorsement you talking about?
Answer. So the endorsement today, one of the best endorsements that I took was Mr. Salif or the former president endorsement, and it was very, very, welcoming to see her talk about how Ile performed well, especially, listening to the vice president Jeremiah saying Ile could not listen to the former president at the time, and then so they had to fire her, and and then the former president coming to endorse Ile, and then making a clear statement that look, she said, well, she contributed to my administration, and then I'm encouraging all the women of Nima, everyone to stand by her, to support her, because she's qualified, she's competent, and these are the kind of campaign message you want to hear, and unfortunately for the vice president, he don't care about that, and so basically that was my key endorsement for today, the former president. But one of the observations that I'm taking to with all the endorsement that come into Ile, most of the endorsements she's receiving, those endorsements they have not been able to kind of move into Nimba, like we're saying with Jeremiah, and the other people who are supporting Koga. At least if you move on the ground, because I know if, like for example, the former VP who appeared here, but she did mention that she's sick, she's not feeling too well. I hope it could be the other way around for them to move into Nima, because that would be a different ball game. You giving a speech on radio that you endorse a candidate, and then being on the ground physically, to campaign is a different, because the presence alone, it means a lot. It attracts a lot of people. People want to see you. Just the name alone, the title you carry, or the former president or the former vice president, is here or supporting Ile. People want to come around. The kind of message you give, it resonates more with them than you giving a speech on radio. And some of the time, some of the speech you give, the people on the ground, the voters, they don't listen to it. So I just wish, with the couple of days we have to go to the election, that most of the people who will be supporting Ile, they can go there, as we see with Yeke Koluba moving from town to town to campaign with her, to tell the people how competent she is, and she kind of share her message. I think that would be more helpful than just endorsing through radio and all of that.
Okay, I would say this: the former vice president, she just had a recent surgery. That I'm aware of it. Okay, but what I'm told is that this weekend, a galaxy of women, popular women, and influential women in the society will be going to Nima to help close the climactic campaign. So, but in the meantime, that's why I know I'm hearing they'll be going to Nima to climax the campaign of Madam Gongloe, where a lot of women will be going. So
that would be a plus. Actually, that would be a great.
I agree with you about the people being present there. But I have on the line our guy Samson in Nimba. Now Abu, he will give you on both sides. So they're on the ground in better.
No, I spoke with Samson. Samson doing great job though. I spoke with him.
Samson, you live. Get an update on what happened in Nimba, please.
All right. So thank you. Let me say good evening to all of you on the show. My man Abu, I know today you were excited to see that.
I mean, you are balanced today, my man. He did not go anywhere.
It was not our fault not to go on the Koga campaign. We just had a sluggish issue where we didn't get the campaign agenda, but henceforth you will see us Koga or most of the campaign activities until Sunday. So on today, Tapeta was shut down. It's the same place where it went. We where the tension stack up. So Tapeta was shut down hugely with supporters from both United Party and the MTR. And we saw in that gallery, we saw the superintendent. And one thing that caught my attention from that gallery was the constant remark of tribal politics, where so the superintendent made a remark today saying that Manoman is already senator, so it's time that the Guar people take power. A lion cannot be replaced with a lioness. A lion must be replaced with a lion.
Oh, that's what the superintendent said today.
Yes. She
Samson, see what I play that recording. He says superintendent Zara.
Wow.
The superintendent, I've been a recording, so I'm sending the recording in the chat room so you can play it.
Okay.
Okay.
The superintendent. the superintendent make that remark that a Guar man, if a Mano man is already in power, so they cannot replace a Mano man, a Guar man with Mano man. That's what Mano people, that's what Guar people see. And whenever the vice president Chairman rubbish the propaganda that is going around concerning Nema County now producing a female senator. He displayed to the public today one of the first female senator of Nema County who served from 1997 up to the Julie Bryan regime, and she was at the campaign rally today, representing the NTR and campaigning for the NTR. We also saw in that campaign rally, we saw the rep of the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson on a campaign rally. She was there, she even talked to the people of Tapeta that her husband should be replaced with Honorable Samuel Kokat. But the rally was a good one. And Honorable Kokat visited villages and towns, small town in Tapeta, and it was welcoming. So one thing I think people is overlooking is the fact that let's agree that Jeremiah Kuhn is behind the Honorable Kokat with his campaign activity, but then people overlooking the fact that this vote can be put into serious use if care is not taken, because most of the villages in town that Honorable Kokat entered in, the welcoming ceremony was very huge and massive. It was very massive. From what I saw, the excitement in people, far different from what we saw with Nyenwolo Congo in that same Tapeta era. So people should not overlook him when it comes to that Tapeta. That Tapeta seems to be one of his very strong hold when for this campaign. I think that's where he would be very, very relying on, because from what we saw today and the excitement we saw in people's faces in Tapeta. But then on the other hand, Nyenwolo Gongloe bounced back to her base, where she was in neighbor town. She visited Fedi, she visited Sakepi. But one thing caught my attention was the people of neighbor's town was clear that Jeremiah Kuhn is one of their son, and he carrying another person, another child, also child to them, which is Honorable Kokat. They consider him as also child to them, that they should vote, that they should leave a sister, Jeremiah Kuhn's sister, who is how are we going to vote for another also child. They say they will not accept it. They are clear that the Mano people should support their own sense on the politics. Today was the very first time I saw the Mano people and township for all of these areas that we visited say
I think he's gone, man. I think he's frozen out.
But if you to manage it, appear to manage to is frozen.
Yeah, sure. But maybe they'll come back on. Yeah. Hopefully they'll come back. Oh, okay, I'll tell you back.
Well, Samson, we're having internet problem just now. So repeat what he said just now. The last one about former President we are.
Lima politics is very interesting, and everyone believes that they will win this election because of the reception they are getting from their constituents. But one thing we know is one person will cry at the end of the day, another person will laugh at the end of the day. But we are here to bring you a balanced story that will satisfy everyone.
Well, what is the President we are did today? Former President we are, what he did today?
President he donated 250 bags of rice to the campaign. I think I sent a picture in the chat. from there. Showing love to Malawi where he support. Let's not forget, I spoke with the guys from the ANC. The ANC campaign team led by Minister Bashu, the chairman will be in Nima County tomorrow. They are expected to land in Nima tomorrow, and they will be, according to them, they will be rallying their base for beginning for Tapeta coming straight to Sanikwere.
You guys have, so where is Mayan? Where Mayan is where?
So Mayan is situated in Ethiopia. I think he's on the line right now. It was Mayan who was calling the Ethiopia on the Koka.
You're here for Mayan. Mayan, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mayan is doing well.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayan.
Okay, so this morning
Mayan, talk loud, please.
Hello?
Yeah, you're not loud. Talk loud.
Hello?
Yeah, talk loud, please. Yeah, we're getting you now.
Okay, so this morning we got information that the Vice President and Onokuga will be in Tapeta City, so we made it our duty to be here this morning. And since this morning we've been here in Tapeta, and we covered the event. Those of you who were following the live coverage, we covered the event from on the highway where we met Onokuga on his way to Tapeta, and we covered the entire event until we entered Tapeta. So we are still here in Tapeta. Tomorrow we'll be heading to the next destination where we have gathered information that on our town we will also be here in Tapeta, while on our map we will be here on Saturday. So we are still here waiting on the campaign tour of candidates.
I saw a video today. I think when the vice president was passing, there was some people booing and with showing sign number three. Where that happened?
So that actually happened in Ganta. It was on yesterday where the vice president was on his way from Sagapie going to Ganta. It was when that incident took place, while Madam Kehleboe Gongloe and our team were on the road when the vice president was passing.
Guys, you have any question for these guys before we let them go?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes. For me, I just how to call it? I know one of them. I don't know Maya. One of them said something about the first. I forgot. I didn't mention that in first section of the comment. Debate when the vice president said Nima County produced. He even showed about the first female senator of Nima County, according to him. With that process, 97, I just thought to, in terms of democratically elected female persons, we have not had any female to be senator of Nima County. Now, with that process,
so that's not true?
Yeah, I would challenge that. Here's what I'm coming to say. The 1997
we have had senator, but I don't think we have had female senator democratically elected.
Was basically a special election that was based on proportional representation.
Okay.
So it was proportional representation. The Chancellor and the NPP won almost 80% of the vote. So they did it in the way that the party that won will select. So the NPP went and selected those people. It's okay, you'll be out. And so that how the NPP got most of those seats at the time in the 1997. So I thought the vice president would have took time to explain that to the people. She was not democratically elected to say she put for, but yeah, it was based on proportional representation at the time of the special 1997 elections that were organized under the stewardship spearheaded by ECOWAS at the time, and to bring peace to the country, right? It was a certain part of the constitution of the country was suspended. A certain part of our constitution at the time was also suspended, and it ushered in a new era of bringing peace to the country. So I thought he shouldn't have used that as a classic example to say that we've had the process about female something. But this time around, the first female in our new dispensation that will go through a contestation and canvass where the people will come and say this and that. And that's the first time this happening in the history of Nima. I thought he should have also amplified that and say to the people. But Maya and our other Cody, I just want to say to you guys, great job. Keep it moving on. But one thing I want you to do is that you should not smell partisan politics in terms of your reportage. That's what I will urge you to do. Just keep on the pace, be analytical, be balanced, be fearless, and just project what is unfolding in the country. So basically, it's going to happen. It's just a few days from now. We're going to be at the Busher Hall, and then we're going to now know as you know, but go and report fearlessly. That's all you can do.
Thank you. Anybody obviously have a question?
Yeah, too many. Me, I'm my.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, my man. Let me join people and the rest of the guys to extend my thanks. Yeah, but quickly, I think we'll have a couple of candidates in this race contesting, excluding either Gongloe and Samuel Kuga. We have not heard much about Brion and what the other guy. People, what many did from District 3. We have not heard about them, Martinez team there, and the rest of the other guys. Are they not running campaign?
They are also running campaign, but so for Mark Brion, what's happening with the Mark Brion campaign? I contacted the campaign team for Mark Brion because the only person who already forceful and moving along with Mark Brion was Musa Hassan Pelete. But since Musa Hassan Pelete traveled to England for the CMC First Diaspora Convention, the campaign structure for Mark Brion being in their sheriff. Yeah, according to them, when I contacted them, they said they are targeting their number, reaching out to their police through their post, and they are now here for loud campaign.
Also, you mean Musa Pelete escape? Musa Pelete escape on my.
I want to tell you, Abu, stop swimming in the water.
Are you American nonsense?
Because I say Puerto leave his candidate and go to an event knowing that candidate.
Listen. Then why your president is not going in the campaign?
We have the vice president.
No. Why he's the leader? Why is the vice president going?
He's a leader, but he focused on running the country. We have the vice president there.
No. Mr. Bede is the head of the CMC. Also, we have other structural individuals that are there running the process also.
But we are not hearing much of them, though. They are not running campaign.
That means you are not in the
Our reporters are saying that.
That means you are not.
But our reporters are not saying much about them.
No,
what is going on?
Said something yesterday on the show that Mark Brion gone somewhere.
But man, let me stop it, man. Get to the other guy. We are not hearing much about them. So there is to say it is a 2-horse race. That's what I'm sensing, right?
No, I think it's a 3-horse race.
No, 2-horse race. You are not the one reporting. You are not one of the reporters. I'm asking the reporter.
You know, people gotta defend his party. What you mean? The man was saying.
So it is a 2-horse race.
It's a 3-horse race.
I don't know though. I took something from what Samson was saying.
Go ahead.
And I hope Brother Tomalin can get back to something to send out video. You know, about the superintendent of Nima.
Yeah, something sent me that video.
You know, that kind of passive statement. You know, it's normal for people like Jeremiah Koga to preach the kind of tribal politics because for them that's the kind of environment they've always grew up in, and so it's okay. But for the superintendent of Nima, who is highly educated, you know, and people expect much from her, to go to Nima and say, you know, like the Mano people town, like the Gio people town, you know, this speaks a lot, you know, about we Liberians, no matter how educated we are, how we travel, you know, and how people expect so much from us. But when we get the kind of petty government positions, how we bring ourselves down to kind of certify people who give us the kind of job. It's very unfortunate if she actually made a kind of statement. You know, I'm actually disappointed because I hold her in high regard, you know, when it comes to the kind of decisions you make. She can support Koga, that's okay. But to go there and say this is a Mano seat or this is a Gio seat for her, it's very unfortunate. And I hope something can send them video.
Yeah, we'll play for final. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Gilman, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, man.
In Europe, right?
Yeah, man. Compromise easy was CNC.
Okay.
Hey guy, yeah. Give me you want to tell you there.
Yeah, Pewee, let's come on, my CDD was CNC.
But man, we will not let you change the
play
topic.
for me. Play.
We will not let you change the topic. You are right. The election
Come on, my
Go ahead, man. Mine, go ahead. Mine, go ahead. Just start calling me.
Abu Kamara, you are right. It's a two-horse race in Nima between Jeremiah Cone and Kogas, dividing stolen money. It's between two of them. Two-man race, two-horse race. You're right.
I mean, if you compromise CDD was CNC.
It's a two-horse race. You're right. That Jeremiah Cone versus Kogas, dividing stolen money.
Jeremiah Cone is not one of the candidates. He can't vaccine for Kogas.
The race is between.
Yeah, mine, go ahead. Yeah, mine go ahead live.
Yeah. So like I was saying, from Segapi, I entered Segapi, so I tried to talk with some resident also on the Mark Guar. And based on that, Mr. Bruin told us that the representative of basically number 7 in my county promised people some solar lights, so they were donating it in the field running to the people. So that's why the CMC is currently doing right now, instead of campaigning from district to district, open it, but they are donating solar light and donating other stuff for the people.
So since it's
See,
anybody get a question? Yeah,
they better go donate solar level.
Robert,
the CNC chairperson promised 2,000 solar lights, and he delivered on that promise. And the solar lights have been installed.
But Mr. listen to the man reporting.
He's just telling you what is going on. I'm telling you, it was a promise made and promise kept. You got 13 years. You have delivered nothing in 13 years. So what is it there? Is there any question there? You got 13 years. You didn't put up one solar light.
The CNC as a political party is starting a political sojourn with bad record, though, because you're not going to win an election. You're not even coming third place.
Listen, we are saying promise made, promise kept. What promises did you make and what promises did you keep in 13 years?
So my question to you.
Answer the question, sir. Besides giving $100,000 each to everybody that shows up, which is a crime. You know that. It's a crime.
You got no proof to validate the assertion in Germany.
You know it's a crime. You see,
you got no proof. So since you're clean with fight.
You see your vice president on camera.
Mr. Kidman, so since you're clean with fight. You got no fight since you're clean.
I'm looking at the film. I'm looking at the video. I'm looking at everything that you are looking at in denial.
So the video you saw, did he count the money?
Listen, the man.
Did he count the money? Not listening. He said the vice president is giving you $100,000.
Koga said $100,000. You saw that. You heard it. That is a crime. Even if it's
$100,000 for what? $100,000 for what?
Sir, if it's $1, it's a crime. If it's $2,
$100,000 for what?
It's a crime. Whether it's 1,000 or 100,000, it's a crime. You know this. It's a crime.
Listen,
and that's why we support our. Matter of fact, I support our 2020 against the sitting vice president, and she can bear me now witness. And we wanted our ballot
balance, but we cannot be hypocritical to that balance. And I see any candidate for something I'm a second to. Let me give you the example when Senator Prince Johnson passed away. People in the United Party, you know, the president and the vice chair of the president and the Senate bearer of United Party, right? And me in Nima and the Senate bearer. So one call me, they say, Senate bearer, you think a good opportunity for you to run? We can go to the president, we talk to the VP. And I see why people didn't want you to be superintendent as president stood by you. I told the person, I said, I will never do such thing. Because that seat is not for the man people. If my people want to give me a job, not on the time, you got to listen to what the people want for you, not only what you want for yourself. So I'm not asking any candidate something I will not do for Nima. I myself have very ambition for Nima, and I'm asking all of us to do so. I'm a woman and I know the importance of gender. We know that Nima needs gender representation. That's why we have been having serious conversation with the Honorable Vice President so that in 2029 we support qualified women. But I also know that as important as the issue of gender is, the issue of ethnicity and tribalism surpass the issue of gender. Gender is critical for tribal issue treating our existence as a people more than the issue of gender. The women of Nima are by no means least. And I thank God I saw Senator Margaret, former senator, because one woman was on our spoon talking about Nima has not had female senator. There's a former female senator in our county. And more female leaders will come. But even Jesus himself said in the fullness of time, it will happen. Let us not breed tribal conflicts. We are past there. And so people will say it happened in the past. That was Senator Groupie, that was Senator Prince Johnson. We are not here to look back. That one may lie, we have to pillow a sword. Because it happened before, doesn't mean it should continue to happen. Oh, now we're not here to pillow a sword.
Listen.
Wow.
But what did she say about it?
Let me come in, please. You're asking what did she say bad? I'm not sure if you understood what she actually said.
Bravo, no more quiz for balance of power.
Please don't interrupt me, Abu. You will have your turn to talk. But you
congratulations to all our victory, though.
Abu, you cannot, don't interrupt me, sir. You cannot say, you just asked what did she say bad. So I'm not sure. I think Tomalin, I think you're frozen. I'm not sure you understood what she really just said. Now let me tell you what she said that from my perspective was really, really troubling. Right? She said the issue of tribalism is more important than the issue of gender with regards to representation. The issue of tribalism is more important than the issue of gender with regards to representation. This is 2025, folks. 2025. And in the same statement, she talked about let's not breed tribal conflict. Isn't that a contradiction? That's exactly what she just did in that statement. You cannot tell me that tribal representation is more important than women, than the issue of gender equality. And gender does not have anything to do with tribe or ethnicity. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with who is more qualified to represent the issues and the cause, the aspirations of the people of Nima or whichever county that they come from. And by extension, who is best positioned to represent the issues and the cause of our country. For anyone to be peddling these very dangerous tribal narrative in 2025 is dangerous, especially given the role the tribalism play in our war. People were killed, not because they were men or because they were women, but because they were associated with a particular tribe. People were killed. People were killed for political affiliation. Let's not forget. We have a history of death. We have a history of destruction because of trouble, of the same nonsense that she talked about. So how can you say there's nothing bad or there's nothing wrong with that kind of talk? We should be talking about how Koga is the best candidate to represent the people of Nima. We should be talking about how Koga has a record of what he's done and what he wants to continue. We should be talking about these things. This is what the superintendent of Nima should be doing. Why is it that she's spending more time on the campaign trail talking about tribalism than Koga's record? You know why? Because Koga has no record, boy, and it's troubling. It should trouble you that we're talking about tribal representation. We're talking about where Musa ability is, rather than talking about the agenda and the record of Koga. This is what we should be talking about. It's troubling. And when she talk, look, I'm not surprised that these guys are supporting JMB's and Jeremiah Cohn's choice. I told my brother George Lobo the other day when he posted a picture of his choice, and I'm like, did you have any other choice? No. JMB and Jeremiah Cohn's choices are your choices until they leave power. You have no choice. If Joseph Boaga decides to support a candidate in any race, you have no choice but to support that candidate. Unfortunately, that's the environment you find yourself. And so I'm not surprised that the superintendent of Nima is supporting Koga. She supported Edith a few years ago. And I can guarantee you, if JMB and Jeremiah Cohn were not in the race, I'm sure she would be supporting Edith. There is no other reason why she supports Koga other than the fact that her bosses have declared their support for Koga. It makes sense. I get it. But why would you go on the campaign trail and spend time pushing these divisive rhetorics when it comes to tribalism? This is troubling, folks. We should be condemning that. We should be condemning that. And then she contradicted herself when she said, let's not breed tribal conflict. Guess what? That's exactly what you just done. Let's focus on the issue. It's sad that in these special elections, the Liberian people once again will fall short of all of this mediocrity because we are in a race that is focused on tribalism. We are in a race that is focused on gender rather than the qualification, rather than the issues, the bread and butter issues. It's unfortunate we're having these discussions. For the past 2 days, we have the headlines has been about tribalism, Mandingo people, the Crown people. What the heck does it mean that seat does not belong to the Crown people? Who determines what tribe the seat belongs to? This is absurdity, folks. It's absurd that we should be. Listen, let me stop here before I say something I'm not supposed to say. Let the other guys come.
Tomalin, you give me a chance to respond, right?
The issue is not about back and forth. Yeah,
no, it's not about back and forth, but I just want to chime in the conversation.
Because Given got to talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. We have a tragedy at one of the major universities in this country, Florida State University. We had a shooting situation there. Several students were killed.
Amen.
The university has 45,000 students, and one of my twin girls is on campus. I just heard from her they are in hiding. She's locked up in her dormitory.
Oh my God! Sorry.
Several students got killed. Several students got wounded. And it is a national tragedy. I'm here. BBC is carrying it live. CNN. I mean, the whole world. Everybody is carrying it. So we pray for those students. Major university, 45,000 students, and a young man just walked on campus. Nobody knows why. The the son of a deputy sheriff, a son of a law enforcement officer, went on campus and opened fire. So we are praying on behalf of our family, and I'm sure Mr. George is going to speak on behalf of this platform. But it's tragic. We pray for those family who lost their family, their children. Just a terrible day. Terrible day. Turn it over to Mr. George.
Yeah, Mr. Gimmer. Sorry, I watched it on the news fly. I'm sorry. I just saw people. People is always on top of the news. I'm sorry I didn't even mention it, but I'm sorry, and we pray that your daughter is. We're praying for your family. Pray your daughter is your daughter okay? You talk to her?
Yes, she's okay. They
Yeah,
were.
the reason I didn't mention it, consumed by the
I pray. I mean, our thoughts and prayers to those who have lost it. I think at the time I saw it said there was 2 dead.
Yeah,
6.
two dead, five stay in hospital.
Yeah, BBC is now saying it's 4.
4 dead.
Yeah, the 4 dead.
Okay. Wow. Our thoughts and prayers with all the families and stop people talking. Abu just got it into me. Everybody talking about you run and talk about your talk down. Yeah, so we pray our thoughts and prayer with the families and all those involved. We pray that the guy was arrested, the person who did was arrested, right?
Yeah.
We thank God he's been arrested, and at least we'll find out the motives about that. But
it's in custody now.
You know, this in a country where the issue about guns is a whole debate in America here. Every day when our kids are going to school, like since this year, my kids' school, they have been on lockdown, I think 5 different times. Every family lockdown. And any little thing that the information they get, they go for lockdown. And so now they would just send a message to our cell phone quick to let us know. And
they want to take precaution now.
Yeah, so we just pray for our kids every day when they go to school because and then we all witness a lot of killings on campuses here that have happened in the past. And we just pray that the people in Florida on our university campus, God will bless them and comfort the families who have been troubled by that senseless shooting again. And it's all about the gun laws, but again, in this country where the issue about guns and Second Amendment rights and everything is all about politics. We have not a mass shooting, and to the extent that some of us have shed tears, even though our family were not involved, but we shed tears for some of these shootings that took place around here, The one that really touched me, one that really was the one in Connecticut. Yeah, that one, I think Darling, what his name was Darling something. He all the students, all the kids there, and so we just want to continue to pray for this country and our children. And
the one that just happened quite recently in Texas, I want really happy. Yeah,
when elementary school.
Yes.
Elementary, I think got into innocent kids.
Yeah, so
and the sad part of it, the law enforcement delay in responding to that.
Yes, it was their fault.
They delay.
The other day I was saying also
why are these things always happening?
It's a society of of close to 300 plus million people. Beyond that, they got people that got some mental issue. They got other people that do it on motive, different reasons, right? And again, with the other 20-year-old situation, he's 20 years old.
They got to do it today.
They got involved. He's 20 years old. His mother is a sheriff deputy. And unfortunately, also, he been training with the sheriff department before. He been doing some work with the sheriff department.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's someone that knows about firearm and the rest of that. Unfortunately, he just went and did this very unfortunate situation. But for now, there's no report if there's any probable cause to put any charges on negligence because he's an adult. That's one. And secondly, they want to know how because he been playing with weapon. He been training with them before, so they want to know how secure. I know the investigation will come out to say later on between now and tomorrow will be everything, or maybe a couple of days from now. But quite frankly, it's a bad day in Tallahassee, Florida. It's not a good day there.
Mr. Gibbon, like I said again, our thoughts and prayers with your family.
Gibbon, you live in Tallahassee?
No, my daughter is on.
Mr. Gibbon, my thoughts and prayer with you and your family. It shall be well, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah, thank God she's okay, and thank God it was not as terrible as Sunday up. God will be with the students, and God will bless the United States.
the trauma, the student center, she has a class there, and it's a big class. It's like an auditorium class where it's a lecture hall, and it sits about 500 students. And she had a class for 120, and the shooting started at 1 o'clock. So if she had gone 20 minutes earlier, she would have been part of that melee. But God, like I was saying, just you are happy it didn't happen to you, but then when you look and see other people's children all spread on the floor
Yeah,
in the
man.
field, I mean, it's just the kids. My daughter, we're now getting psychologists and folks because the kids are traumatized.
Of course.
Most of the injury were from stampede. When they heard a gun, everybody started running different ways, and
Amen.
if you fall, they would, that's what it is. People just, I mean, we talk about 45,000 students, a huge university. I mean, it's a big school. And something like this happened. I know all 45,000 didn't show up the same day, but it's a huge, huge university.
Yeah, it's huge, but it happened just one side of it. That side was a little tense. The side it happened. Those, I mean, it's just unfortunate actually the side of it and the way the campus somehow also. I mean, and that's one of the things and the response time was very good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, they have their
Good. Also,
own.
that allowed the calamity to be a little bit something other than that. It would have been more. The response time was very good.
My thoughts and prayers. These things always happen. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, every time these things happen, I mean, it happens and then it happens again. There's no serious steps taken to address the guns across the country. But I wanted to get back to the election a little bit, though.
Let's go.
Yeah, because I think it's important. Robert.
But while you put on the election already, I think it's fair for too many to solicit other both views.
There's a guy called Robert. Just 1 minute. There's a guy called Robert. I'm not sure his last name. GB, whatever. He was asking about what is the bread and butter issues, and this is an election, and we sit in America and we want to decide for the people in Liberia. When you see a guy like that, Tomalin, make a statement like that, it tells you about the electorate in our country. It tells you that many of our people, and it's unfortunate, are not informed. They don't even understand what an election means, right? They don't understand what an election means. This is an opportunity for you to pick a candidate that will address some of the issues that are concerning your own families. One of those issues could be job related. I'm not sure if that gentleman works and gets paid a decent amount monthly. I'm not sure if he has access to quality health care. I'm not sure if the children have access to quality school. I'm not sure if you have access to quality roads, right? I'm not even sure if you have access to electricity, stable electricity. These are the issues that are bread and butter issues. And it's not about people in America or in the diaspora deciding for you. It's about us helping you get informed so that you can make an informed decision with regards to who is best to represent your interests, your children's interests, and your country interests. But when you sit on social media and you want to support a particular tribe, you want to support a particular person, you are clouded. You don't even know what's good for you. Do you understand what an election means? Do you know why people go out there to campaign? What do you think should be the discussion on the campaign trail? Do you think we should be talking about tribes and how the seat belongs to Crown, the seat don't belong to Mandingo people, how Mandingo people are not part of us? How does that benefit your lives? How does that help you grow in Liberia? How? So yes, the bread and butter issues are the issues that are important to the growth and development of Liberians like yourself. That's what we should be talking about. But unfortunately, we are not. We're talking about Crown people seat, Mandingo people don't belong here, and all of this nonsense. And it doesn't improve our lives. It doesn't. Mr. Gilman, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Abu will agree here that this is not what we call uncharted territory because we've been here before, and we know the outcome. We know how other tribes were hunted down like animals and killed. We know this, and these ones, they are gradually going away, and then some folks, because of opposition, they will come and want to dig it up. Okay? The contribution that Mandingos have made to our society, to our country, the contribution the Gio people have made, the Manons have made, the Crowns have made, the Congo people have made, everybody have made to the development of this country.
Everybody.
And then you
the Liberian people, Mr. Gilman, the kind of contribution the Liberian people have made. That's
correct. And that's what I'm saying. We all have made this.
That's it. It shouldn't be one group of people.
Yes. And the reason I'm saying this here is because I do not want to sugarcoat or use a wild brush to say Liberian people. No, because these people, they targeted particular Liberian people. So when we're in the discussion, we have to include and separate individually that it was not just you or I, it is the composition of everybody. But for this election, for me to see Mr. Koga and the vice president to say, I have gone into the mine section and told them that this seat belongs to this, and in 2029, I will be on the front line fighting for my people. It's ridiculous. This is the vice president. And then Mr. Koga came on today or yesterday and said, if you don't vote for me, be careful if I don't win because I'm coming for you. I mean, we talk about threat.
Threatening who?
Well, you listen to your candidate. That's your candidate. You should follow this.
But Mr. Gilman, you are all being biased. And the reason I say this, the last elections, the recent elections, the recent by-elections that brought Yan Toyan to the Senate, it was an agreement held among the two tribes. The two tribes are of dominance in Nimba. You may not like it though. I'm a Mandingo man. We got even better people from Nimba. We have Mano, we have Dan. We have so many tribes in Nimba. But here is the debate. The debate has been for the past decade. There has been proliferation of tribes going, vying for the election. Like Musa Bede is the first Mandingo man to represent a district that he's not representing. The man who he took over from is a Mano man by the name of Roger Doma, the Unity Party candidate at the time. So the reason you see the vice president is campaigning across the country, across the county, it is because Yan Toyan, being a Mano man at the time, running as a candidate on the Unity Party ticket, it was a promise made. And the vice president are going to the people. They say Samuel Koga, who today we can't vaccine for, was a major contender.
Abu,
you getting me?
Abu,
yeah.
Abu, let me say this to you. There's no, we have to be very clear as educated people and as reasonable people also, and people of many wisdom, our traditional elders and the rest of that across the country. The resilience of our people should never be no. There's nothing about our constitution and the thinkers of the constitution, if you will, that this process about
but let me learn where it comes in. Let me learn my thought.
Okay, I will let you learn it. I'll come in. And
let me learn my thought. So I see Mr. Gilman. The reason I say you're being biased, you are not giving a historicity as to what emanated, into the vice president calling on the people of the people from the Mano Bill to reciprocate the role he played during the past elections that brought his young point. As a leader of a country, like I said prior to arriving on the show, as a leader, like any leader would do, you have to play an impartial role. And that is what the vice president is doing. The vice president campaign vigorously across the country. But we not listening. Why are you distracting me? The vice president, the vice president,
You
the
making me
vice
laugh when you
president,
say
the vice.
he's not impartial. Yeah, go
Have you
ahead.
learned that?
Yeah, but you play an impartial role because what do I mean by that? During the previous elections that brought Yan Twanyan to the Senate, he called on the people of the Guar belt. Like we already have a sitting senator from the Guar belt. So why can't we elect another person in our quest for a balance of power? And he's doing same today. And he has promised to do same as a leader. You may not like the vice president at the moment. He's the leader of the country. He's the most senior government official of the country. Like it or not. So how can you say the vice president and Samuel Kuga have done nothing? But the only thing it does is it goes to a political rally and
Let me
preach
say this.
divisive politics.
Abu, let me
That's
say this to
wrong.
you. Let me say this to you. So the statement by the vice president saying, "Oh, the man, we had you put the man person." No, it was not a statement that he thought to do to balance, to strike any balance. He did that because it was the decision at the time they just won. He was vice president, happy. The party people said, "Hey, this time we want to support Yan D. Twanyan to be our senator in Nimba County." So he bought, and he rather
But
have to
this discussion were all taken into
he
consideration.
have to progressively run to the system to campaign. But he didn't tell us that when Prince Johnson was senator, and then he brought former Senator Thomas Kupi to be senator. The both Guar men were senator of Nimba County at the same time. Right?
That was then.
So no, come in. But it is not. So what I'm trying to tell you, the framers of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia didn't think in the basis of balancing tribal issue to say, okay, this man got to be the man. The framers said people should have the free will and the level playing field for open political contestation. So the process there is everyone will have to enter the race and canvass individually or politically intense if you have a political affiliation. So that's the basics of the Constitution. Now, the very thing the vice president was saying today to bring tribal politics versus trying to say he tried to push this thing before, it was just basically tribal. The principle is based on dividing the people of Nimba Fado, and then eventually he will push the same kind of a division in the country. Now, you can't be a vice president of a county, and that's the blunder on his part. You can't be a vice president of a county, and then you want to push tribal politics. You shouldn't be the messenger. You're not that messenger. You're not. You are the
vice president is the leader of the county.
You are the leader of the county, and the vice
he's the leader of the
president.
country.
You should not be seen speaking in favor of one tribal group against the other on the basis of that tribal group favoring to win elections.
Okay.
Terrible.
No, people at default when there is a precedent, when there is precedent to the written action at default.
Okay, I just got a quick. Okay, there's someone who is very, very well much versed in my politics. The person have never been wrong.
Who that again?
Persons don't want to call a name. They have never been wrong. So let me the person just gave out this critical analysis on an Nima by-election.
But to my information for public consumption, you gotta decode, call the person name, gotta call the source.
Let the man run his show.
What's the name? I'm not going to the name.
You are a guest on the show. Let the man run the show.
Nima, as a traditional country, elects individuals on tribalism and regionalism as opposed to candidates' academic qualification, which is true. You might don't let people on your academic qualification.
But that's wrong.
Okay.
If they've been doing it, wrong.
Yeah. Nah, it's wrong.
What do you mean by Nima not let people on academic qualification?
Nima, as a traditional country, ultimately elects individuals on the basis of tribalism and regionalism as opposed to candidates' academic qualifications. It's true. Okay. Is
there a criteria set? Is there a criteria set for one to be elected?
Abu can start
academically.
Abu, you start with the show though. On a serious note, you get him on nerves. I'll be frank. Please, man, don't do that to me.
But not the person need too money.
No, you doesn't have to run in the show. You're a panelist.
You're forced to do it.
That's an anonymous quarter.
Okay.
We gotta protect his source.
They say, I want you guys to weigh in. They say, given the tribal approach being forwarded by Vice President Combe, the election has drastically taken a tribal dimension, and the electorates will vote as a result of ethnic identities of the candidates. District 1, say this person say, Ile will come first, Koga second, Yeru third. That's how they get. District 1 is a minor district but it comprises Gio, Mano, and Manigo because Ghana is a commercial state of Nimba. District 2, Ide first, Koga second, Mag third. District 2 is a pure Mano district, and Ide will get 80% of the total votes. District 3, Yeru first, Koga second, Ide third. District 3 has a little portion that falls in the Mano settlement. Yeru might likely slightly defeat Koga there. District 4, Yeru first, Koga second, Mag third. District 4 is a pure Gio district, and Yeru served as its first lawmaker. The margin that would be between Yeru and Koga in District 4 will be slim. District 5, Koga first, Yeru second, Mag third. Koga is the current lawmaker of District 5. District 6, Mag first, Koga second, Yeru third. District 6 is a Gio and Crown district, and Mag fields from there. District 7, Koga first, Ide second, Yeru third. District 7 is 60% Gio and 40% Mano. District 8, Ide is first, Koga second, Mag third. District 8 is a pure Mano district, but Koga mother hill from there. District 9,
District 8, you call District 8
Ide first, Tigba second, Koga third. District 9 is 80% Mano, 5% B, Doru, and 50% Gio. I don't know, but there's somebody who has been involved in the politics. The person don't want to, because the person, in our trouble in our country, right? And you take us certain side you take, people will get, because the person have identity with all the people, right? But you want to take a side, you want to come and talk publicly with his name, call his name, and then somebody come and how much disturbing and his family. So they're giving. So I just want you guys can weigh in.
But Tomalin, that person projection domain seems to be that they have jurisdiction or the electors. The person projected, but the person is projecting as if they have jurisdiction or the electors. You go to district 1, the person will do that. You go to district. I don't think so, though, because there are other districts that you get. There are districts that you call the district 9. I want to sign with the person. So I want me being a lawmaker, and I play being, let's say, predominantly Manon people. Yes, I will concur with the person. But all the Gio girls, Koga being a Gio man, you get sympathy vote. So I know he's bringing Mark Guion and Garrison you ahead of him.
Well,
can I come in?
But again, no. And before we go on, I think we said, I don't know the system. We just on the show that I know Gimme or whoever who said that the death rate went up to 5 or so. No, it's not true. It's still 2.
Still 2. Thank you.
It's still 2. We don't want the show to be something. Gimme said BBC is saying. BBC is saying that BBC is saying different thing. It's still 2. It's still 2. Let clarify here before we push things. It's still 2.
Saliki, go ahead, Saliki.
If it's 2, that's good news. Yeah, it's still 2. It's still 2. So that's good. Okay. I'm reading it here from the BBC right here. It's scrolling. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, no. We may be wrong. I'm reading. Yeah, I thought to do that clarification. Yeah, so we are dancing that good news, even though light loss is bad. Thank you very much for the update. Yeah, it's still something, and we just listen to
the newest CNC partisan.
Unfortunately, the gun don't do the shooting, but the people do.
Let's see you come in. We don't have much time.
Okay, so now back to the superintendent. I listened to a recording, and this is very, very sad. And Abu, I understand you keep coming in with a defense of trying to reciprocate the Mano vote or the Gio vote, and this is what you're missing, Abu. We don't have 2 tribes in Nima, and to tell us that how it been operating for 1990 something or since La Bro was founded, that is not the point here. We are in the 21st century. We get away with all those things that used to take place in the past. The tribalism stuff. So we don't have 2 tribes, and for the superintendent to go up there and just flow along with the same tribalism, Jeremiah and Koga been pushing to the people. This is sad, and let me give a little background of this superintendent. And for some reason I will give the Spoon Talk some credit here in this case. Those guys, they use the Spoon Talk, they go there, they pretend to be someone who stand in the interest of the Liberian people, to seek validation or some attention. And as the moment they give them job, forget it. All the principle and they stand in, they present themselves to be, they forget about all those things. She did that. She got the recognition from the sponsor. Uh, today Fatima is in Liberia. Fatima says she had a new job that was paying her, I don't know, 40,000. She don't need government job. Today the girls on and Konosa job to MCC. She's in Liberia today. And then they got Fadiga brothers, Eugene Falcon, all of them. That's what they do. So I follow that woman very well on Spontan. You listen to her, you say this woman is educated, but you listen to this clip and something just sent us here tonight. She's going over there telling the people we have only two. This is the Mano seat. We have to vote for the Mano candidate. Then 2029 we'll make sure. This is really sad. And for Abu to say there's nothing wrong with that, she was very clear. She said tribalism is more serious than gender equality. So, it's a clear indication, and she was very serious about it. So for me, and I agree with the person who sent our analysis to Brother Tomalin, where the person pointed out that the entire election in Nima have changed to tribal stuff, and this is very unfortunate. And the reason it's being done like that is because Koga, Jeremiah Kun, and the rest of the Unity Party folks, including the MDRO guys, they've turned all those things around because, like Brother Robert said, they have done nothing for the people of Nima. They've done nothing, and they have no record to run a campaign on, absolutely nothing. Ile can tell the people that, look, this is what I would do. If you elect me as a senator, this is what I've done before. This is my record. I've served as a superintendent, and this is what I was able to do for the country. But what, and I hear Abu talking about, Koga is the most experienced, and this is what we do. And this is the same, argument out of you. You brought to the Liberian people that Joseph Baga was the most experienced, politician in the country. And today he's the president with all the years and experience. What is he doing differently, to show to us that, yes, indeed, I'm the most experienced politician, and this is what I have to offer to the country? Nothing. So this stuff about Koga being the most experienced lawmaker, Abu can tell us the bill Koga have, proposed to the House there. After all that years in being there, nothing. He can tell us what tangible, how many people Koga have advocated for, to uplift them from poverty, what employment was, taking them, whatsoever, nothing, absolutely. But those guys, they come back, they say they want to run, at least get a platform, tell the people what you will do. If you don't have a record, that's okay. But tell the people, this is what I'm going to do. They're not doing that. They're running tribal politics, and this is sad. And I hope, again, I will come back to we can sit on this platform. We know the opposing argument, have a radio station that is relaying the show in Nima. But at the end of the day, those endorsements that people are coming up to make in favor of Ile Gongloe, they should move to Nima country. I'm very happy that, some women group will be going to Nima this weekend, and I hope, some other parties will consider, at this crucial time, because they are pushing these things. And as the reporters from Nima came on, some of those people in Nima, that's what resonates with them. That when you go there and say, you know what, you Nima, they may you man or rather, they may like your son, or they will more like your daughter, vote for her based on that. Of course they're gonna do that. So at the end of the day, we should encourage those people endorsing Ile to go into Nima, campaign for her. Your visibility is very, very important, because if you go there are a lot of people who want to see you because of your title, your portfolio in the country, and the kind of message. I'm sure most of you endorsing Ile, you have a message to give to them, other than the other people on the other side who are just preaching tribal politics. It's very unfortunate, So basically, that's just my feedback about the superintendent coming.
We want to announce that after the election in Nima, it will be a one-on-one with Robert and the Senator Jallah, one-on-one, 1 hour, 30 minutes interview. Robert will be interviewing Senator Jallah one-on-one, a special interview. So Robert Garguah and Senator Jallah will be on one-on-one. We'll be on a Sunday, and we'll organize that. We'll be a one-on-one, and it will be interesting. We're only two of them, and from there we're coming.
That would be awesome. I look forward to that. And greetings to the Senator. Tomalin, since the last interview, I have been getting a lot of calls. People say, "Oh, you're going to Liberia now, or you're not going to criticize the senator." I've said, "You guys don't know me." And the only reason why they said that, and by the way, Senator Dillon, I will be reaching out to sort out my contribution. The only reason I've been a little busy with my new job, the only reason why they said that was because I decided to contribute. And I want to reiterate again, we don't have to, we can disagree. My disagreement with the senator is like my disagreement with anyone else, including JMB. It's not personal. It's about the issues. And so it's refreshing that we can fiercely disagree and still connect on something that I believe is commendable, which is the war against drugs. I think what he's doing is something that the nation should be doing. It's something that we failed to do as a nation. So there's nothing wrong with supporting, but the senator still got a lot of questions to answer. And when we do the one-on-one, I'm sure that everyone would enjoy it. We'll ask some serious questions. We'll have a great conversation. But just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean it's personal. Doesn't mean me and the man are cool. Doesn't mean I can't support his organization. And anyone who knows me, Tomalin knows that I've always supported. I've been running a nonprofit for almost 12 years. We've educated more than 1,000 children. We built 2 public libraries. And so I've always done what I can to give back to my country, and I'll continue to do that. But I just wanted to reiterate what Saliki said. And it's unfortunate. You highlighted a comment that talked about they counted having 6 Gil representatives. I mean, it's unfortunate what we've come to as a country. And we continue to hold certain people at the standard, of course. When you run an election, there's an expectation. We have an expectation when it comes to JMB. He said he was very experienced, and we expected them to come in and hit the ground running. Unfortunately, that has not happened, right? But I think that as a people, I think we should hold all of our representatives, all of our senators, in fact, all of our elected officials at the same level, with the same standard. What we are doing in this special election, it does not benefit us. This is the reason why I don't want to talk about it, Tomalin. This is the reason why I've said the people of Nima, gay man, will sort out what the people of Nima want for themselves. If tribal representation is more important for them than transformation of their own lives, development of their county, ensuring quality healthcare, road connectivity, right? Electricity, serious stuff. If these things are not as important, jobs, quality education, if these things are not as important to them, then the tribe of the person who represents them, even if that person does not have the qualification to truly represent them, then let them make that decision. If they think Koga, given all of his time as a representative, if they think Koga have the record, if they think Koga have demonstrated that he has what it takes to represent them, based on what he's done, which is nothing, then let them make their choice. But as a country, we've got to be very careful because our children are listening. I don't want Liberia. Look, listen, people were killed because of that tribal connection. There's nothing wrong with. I'm a Bassa boy. I can't speak Bassa because I was taken away. That opportunity were taken away from me when we were supposed to be learning our native tongue. We were dodging bullets. Some of us left Liberia when we were young. We were learning French. I was forced to speak French in Abidjan when I went to kindergarten. We were forced to learn many different languages, right? Unfortunately, we should have been given the opportunity to learn both English and our native tongue, right? But do you think I'm loyal to my county, Grand Bassa, more so than I am to my country? No, my country comes first. We should all embrace our ethnic background. We should all embrace where we come from. But where we come from is not more important than our country. We owe more allegiance to our country than our counties, than our friends, than our political parties. We owe more allegiance to our country, and this is the language we should be speaking. It's unfortunate that this election has turned into a tribal nonsense. And listen, I'm not the one in Nima. I don't live in that district. I don't live in Nima County. I would love to visit Nima. I've never been to Nima, but I don't live in Nima County. If those families, if those mothers, if those folks think that Samuel Kora is the best candidate to represent them, let them make that decision. I don't care about that. I care about Liberia. And as long as I live, Tomalin, I will continue to condemn this tribal nonsense. I think it's bad for our country. I think it's Superintendent talk about, tribal is more important. Tribal representation is more important than gender representation. I mean, come on, man. It's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate.
Yeah, to see a woman, an educated woman, say what she was saying today, that tribalism trumps gender. Can you imagine? She used the word Trump.
Absolutely. Don't even use the word Trump, girl, man. That break it down.
Yeah, for the woman to say tribalism is more important than anything else, including the education that she has.
Yep.
And then when we, as Black people, as minority living in a country where the people have built and developed their own nations, and we are here and crying for gender equality, we are crying for racial equality, we're crying for everything. And then we leave from here, return to Liberia, and go right back into our caves and become the Neanderthals that we were 1,000 years ago. We need citizens. We don't need tribes. Citizenship trumps tribalism. Citizenship is what our civics say our country was founded on, because our family, the government, begins in our family. And if someone is going to say, besides all the education, all the training, I have returned to give back to my country what I have learned. And what I have learned taught me that my tribal connection trumps are more important than the nation. The folks from Nimba should be embarrassed. And then I mean, in times like this, every county in this state, every county in Liberia has an organization in the United States. Credible men and women, where are they? I think UNESCO, the name is in Nimba County. The umbrella organization that represents the minds in the United States, UNESCO, I think they call themselves, powerful organization. Where are they? Where are the women in that organization? I am not saying go and support a woman. That's not what I'm saying. But for a woman to say our gender, the importance of gender, means absolutely nothing. By the way, Honorable Musa Bility will be back in the country on Sunday. He will address the nation, and he's going straight to Nimba, and he's going to address the people of Nimba. Mark Blaine is going to give an account of those 2,000 solar lights that were promised and being delivered. They will be looked at, they will be inspected. Promise made, promise delivered.
Why are you laughing?
I said address the nation. Anyway, but
we will address the nation. We will address the Nimba nation. We will address the Nimba nation. So
you not say my brother, you're making you start to adjust.
No, but listen, Nimba is part of the nation.
No,
that's what it is. And what we are talking about here about the denigration of our gender issue is a national issue.
Listen, don't let him manage shake his money.
No, but I'm telling you, this is a national security issue.
You will address the nation.
He will address the nation, and he will address the Nima nation, the Nima people, not the Gil people, not the Mandingo people, not the Mana people, the Gil nation, which is a conglomeration of people, because we got a lot of Bassa people in Nima as well. We got Bassa people in Nima.
Let me just say something quickly, right? You see, in politics, if you especially when you're in government, right, you gotta be very, very measured. And I know the superintendent told me before that she wasn't going to take part in it. She was going to be neutral in the election. But I think I want to believe it's pressure. It's pressure because, but I'm not defending her though. But I thought she would have kept to stay in a position where she remained above the fray and just monitor the election from a distance. And because at the end of the day, we work with the legislative caucus of the county, whoever elected, and she and Madam will have a very, very close relationship. I'm just surprised at that. But again, but what she said, I think is unfortunate. I'm very close to her, very, very close to her. She's my sister. And she recently said we should have met, but then our schedule didn't permit us. But I was very disappointed with what she said. And I will speak to her about it because something, sometimes what you say today will haunt you tomorrow. That's why you see, I heard before I got on the show today, I think Madam, the pro tem, but they have the alliance. I heard the pro tem was somebody told me the pro tem was going to go and endorse Oga. But I think it's a change of plan. I don't think Madam Kanga Lawrence, as a national leader, we want to inject herself in. So, I mean, that's all right, but with the kind of politics that's been played, I think she will stay above it and just because at the end of the day, she will whoever becomes senator, she will work on the person. You see, she's the leader of the Senate. So whoever wins the election on Tuesday, she will welcome them and bring them into the Senate. So I think if the decision that she will stay out of the election, I think I support her for that. I think even though she's part of the ruling alliance, but I don't think if our advisor to go endorse any candidate or perhaps even endorse or Koga because she's part of the ruling alliance. So I think above out of it and as a leader of the Senate and of the especially as a female too, I think you just say some things you just say I won't talk. I will just let it play. I will let it play. Okay. But lastly, Madam Salif, former president, former standard of the Green Unity Party, come up today to come up publicly endorse Madam Ware. Sends a message to the Unity Party that I'm not with you guys. No, I'm not with you. I'm a Unity Party. Okay. So, but I don't know. That's how I just think about it.
Yes, but let me tease Raul a little bit. He said because of the war, he couldn't learn how to speak the Bassa or something. No, Raul. We are. Then today I wouldn't speak the Lama dialect or language, if you will. We learn it too the same way. There are a lot of kids. And one thing I admire also about, let's say, other traditional thing, you will have learned it when that's the best time to learn it, right? Because if you, for instance, came from school home, now you learn those things. You learn those things in the home, in the house, and that's it. Our parents, particularly our mother, spoke our local vernacular back to us home. We didn't learn it from the school.
Yeah,
we learned it from the house, from the home.
But Professor, I think you're being unfair to me because you're being unfair. And give me 10 seconds. Let me clarify. When I was a baby. I was literally a baby when my parents left Liberia. So when I left Liberia and went to the Ivory Coast, my mom and my dad were already in the States. All right. And I was taken care of by my auntie.
They couldn't speak Bassa.
When I went to they couldn't speak Bassa. My dad speaks Bassa fluently. He writes Bassa. Then I got
it. The fact that they couldn't speak Bassa after your parents.
Right. So by the time we came to the States, I was 14, 15 years old. We were only focused on like school and things like that.
I get it.
But what I said was, imagine had there not been no war in Liberia. I was born in Painesville. I would have been given the opportunity to learn. My father would have ensured that my siblings and I not only spoke Bassa but wrote Bassa. I know that for a fact.
I got it. So basically, on that, but fast forward, the process about the Unity Party
the Madam Salif endorsement issue. This election is on a serious note going to be critical. I don't want to go there, but there's a division in the party. I will speak to that basically to tell you that the former president, the current former Senate bearer, current Senate bearer, there's this problem unfolding, and Yombli herself not endorsing. I think that was a smart move on her part. If she continues, we got 3 days left for active campaign process. 3 days. The campaign, there will be no campaign. Campaign will basically be closing on Monday. 12 midnight Monday in Liberia, campaign will officially close. Monday is going to be a rest day, and Tuesday election. So the issue about Yombli not coming up to endorse, I think that's a good decision on her part to do, and just witness the process and allow the process to unfold. Because trust me, it's going to be a shock in the election results. People believe that all the things about President running around doing, they're going to be a serious shock there, and that's what I would say to that. I wouldn't want to talk on that lot more, but there's going to be some.
But I'm surprised that you and Gamer, your issue of statement today. You ain't read this today.
Well, of course, I was here when the political leader made.
But Gamer should be giving update.
I just told you that
we want to get information.
We want to say
the political leader we stand alone. He said it. Go ahead.
No, but I mean, I remember saying so. You should have very.
Anyway, I just get this information. Trust me.
Go ahead, statement because we release it out to you guys.
He stands alone and strong in the fight for better Nima and Liberia. But you guys are realistic. By the way, let's move on.
No. But the reason I sent it to you was that after Mr. Weir, former President Weir said that they were endorsing 3 candidates. Then we turn around, you get 500 or 250 bags of rice and 5 buses or 20 buses, whatever the numbers are, to help eat it. This is not how you support 3 equal. What happened to the contribution to Yelu? What happened to the contribution to Mark Blaven if you're doing that? So that's the inconsistency we are saying. So what we are saying here is,
I think, Gilman, you're doing the opposition and I think the Edith campaign. If you do you don't support her, but I think that the former president, and I'm not his spokesman, but I think it's unfair to him. It is his choice that, you know what, I support the 3 candidates or I support a particular candidate. It's also his choice to decide who he donates to or what campaign he donates. I don't think he has to donate to Edith and your campaign.
Listen, you are splitting hair here. The man didn't say he supported either. He said he supported all 3.
Okay.
That's right. So if you say you got 3 kids, okay, and they go to school and you pay one tuition, 100% tuition for one, and the other 2 you say you go look for your own. How does that feel?
No, but I will say this. I'm not a former president's spokesperson, but I can tell you for a fact that the 3 candidates that they said the people should vote for, in this election, he have contributed to all of the campaign.
Okay, so tell me, what did he contribute to Yelu? What did he contribute? How many buses he sent for Yelu? How many buses he sent for Mark Blaven? How many bags of rice? Just tell me.
I'm just saying I know for a fact that
so what is it that you know? Then tell us what you know. Give us the figure, give us the number.
He's contributed to all three campaigns.
Yes, I want to know. I know what he did for Edith. What did he do for Mark Blaven? What did he do for Yelu?
They will count on their own, but I
Pewee help my brother here because they were here. The chief himself.
The former president contributed to all 3 of the candidates.
But we see one. That's what I'm saying. Where's the other 2?
Well, you for CMC, you're talking your own, but the Europe camera here and the either camera here will say what they gave them. But I know I can tell you for a fact that I'm aware he contributed to all 3 campaigns.
No, I also got information from inside the CDC that he contributed to the 3 the 3 individuals they named in the release. That's what I hope, and that was something. I will be challenging the president, say, but then why you put out either on 220 bag? What is exactly the point? The man said no. This was done. Even the 220 bag, according to him, it was not meant to be announced. I don't know how it came up. It was not meant to be announced how it came up. But on the side of it, and I know, and that's why I said to you, from the last time we
even when Akaro scheme, Akaro get the code, but you don't pick it up anyway.
No. But that's why I said to you. Can remember I told him, that was a wrong thing to do. You can't scatter your agenda that way. It will be people will think that you are indecisive, right? And this is the same thing will be unfolding now, and that's part of I think this part of the reason that trigger the release coming up from the CMC system alone. You have to do this.
That we are responding to so.
No. I mean, but the party standing alone in terms of supporting one candidate.
That's
not scatter her agenda.
You have a
right?
candidate in the race.
So respond. That response may be in act with what the CDC is doing, but not because that. The basic process to money, yes. The basic thing here is, if you want to be a political institution, you have to be organized and be institutional oriented. Beyond that, to scatter your support, it is a means that you are not genuine enough to say who you believe in. You cannot say we support 3 persons. Where are you going to support 3 persons? You're going to confuse your electorates. So that was not an appropriate call on their part.
But Pewee, the 3 candidates, they all have supported work with the CDC in the last couple of elections. So it's like, and the 3 of them now agree that we should support 1 person. So the former president tried. They couldn't come together to work over consensus. You see, but then he can't say, "Well, I'll throw you away." He said, "Well, okay, so y'all can agree. You all go in the race as a party. You all have worked with us before and affiliated with us. We will not take a side. So we'll support all 3 of you. But if you're taking a once, because don't forget now, during the recent election, 2020 election, Mike Blinwong, Jallah, all were working for the former president, the CDC. So you can come and say, Madam Gongloe too, in the second round. So you can come and take one person's side. So that's how you say, well, they say, CDC say, well, you all decide. But our party saying vote for any of you, but that's not the co-government, that's all. So I mean, I give it because, politics, my man, you won't hurt anybody because you need people tomorrow. You gotta be careful, But
yeah, it's true. You may need people tomorrow, but you got to structure in a way that you have to strike a balance. From my perspective, needing people is important, but striking the balance is also very important. So that if you are institutionalist, you push yourself inside line. You don't divide the process. But again, that's a lot of Liberian politics. That's a lot of politics. Politics will never.
Well, I want to announce we'll be having or perhaps either tomorrow night or Saturday night or Sunday night, having a late show, and all the heavyweights will be coming on that late night show to talk about the NIMA election as the climax. So we reach out to all the candidates today. We say that they will, as a climax to their campaign, want to bring them on to come and make their closing comments, the closing argument to the NIMA people. We'll give them time, free air time for 15 minutes at least, to come and make their closing comment to the NIMA people, since the program is here live through NIMA. So hopefully some of them will come on. We'll reach out to Madam Gongloe, Mr. Koga, Mr. Blinwong, Mr. Jallah, reach out to them and told them that we give the opportunity to come and make their closing comment, the closing argument on the platform. We have either tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday to do it. So let's see what happens. Well, Juliano say, if that's the guy, he always tough. He said, if that's the case, Tomalin, why ANC didn't support Liberia CMC? CDC actually confused for partisan who to vote. Anyway, I don't know. Julian Ho, I don't know, because I don't know. Again, perhaps it was a decision that was made. Can I give me your feeling having dinner? Go ahead,
Your CDC people keep knocking me off. Because of this, I just said they're calling me and knocking me off this stuff. They're saying just what you were saying. One of the persons says they are going to do exactly the same thing. 5 buses, 205 bags of rice. They're going to give it to each candidate. So we're about to wait. I'm going to be here. We're going to see it. That's what they're saying, just like you were saying. So why is it that making one public and the others will be done privately? I have no clue, but we'll see. You will be right here. We'll tell you if it happened. Mr. Pewee is here. We will see if it happened. I want to know to whom they delivered the five buses and to whom they delivered 205 bags of rice. Why do it in private? But we'll see the buses, you can't hide them. So we'll be here. We'll be watching, Tomalin. I know you got inside sources, but we'll be watching.
Well, but you see, all the candidates getting all the endorsement, major endorsement going to. But now, if you look at the race right now, it's just between Koga and Madam Ware, you know. But that's how people are looking at it on a serious note. To see the former president, former vice president coming, and then and a women group in Monrovia and other parts of the country having these rallies. And I'm hearing that they're going to move into Nima this weekend to climax Madam Gongloe campaign. So, I mean, the former vice president called the show tonight to come and elevate her to double down on her endorsement. And I mean, again, like I would say, for me, I'm neutral. I pray for the best candidate to win. You know, I just pray that the candidate will win to make the people in Nima happy. That's all. But Kehleboe, just come here. What you got to say, Kehleboe? You want to say something quickly?
I just want to make a quick comment to ask Gilman. Gilman, I know CDC endorsed your candidate.
What candidate?
Mike Bleon. I don't know. Okay, maybe.
But CDC also endorsed Edith.
No, so I'm coming now.
Okay.
So Edith is an independent candidate. Garrison Julius is an independent candidate. Mike Bleon is on a political party ticket that is distinct. It's distinct from the CDC, right? When I listen to your argument that, oh, they're not doing this for me, will you really expect, will you welcome CDC getting involved in the activities of your candidate as a party?
If CDC is not involved,
I said, will you expect, will you appreciate, will you welcome, then give him a lot of currency or support to your candidate?
I would prefer that CDC and the president stays out of this election. I made that clear.
Okay.
Including the vice president.
The reason why I'm just because you keep emphasizing, oh, we haven't got it right. Where is the evidence? But the facts are there. I think if you talk to Mike Bleon, I mean, I have to just be measured about what I say publicly. But Tomalin said from reliable sources, from what as far as you know, CDC reached out to the three persons that they asked their supporters to choose, you know, whoever they want. You know, I think the context we need to look at it is that when Madam Wade decided to contest, she did not go to the CDC because she's not a seditious to say, I want to contest. What do you say? Do you agree or you don't agree? She did not look for validation. When Mike Bleon wanted to contest, I believe Mike Bleon did not go and say, I won't contest, or what do you say? Mike Bleon made a choice that 3 times he wanted to contest Jeremiah Kun's tapping. This time Jeremiah Kun will not stop him, he will contest. He made a personal commitment to himself. And he has to now go out there to begin to look for resources. Without even honorability, I believe Mike was going to somehow get in the race because he was determined to show that he can show himself. The same way with Garrison. Garrison determined that, okay, I'm a lawyer, I practice in law, I have a law firm, but I lost my job in the manner and faction under the UP with the activity that led to his losing his job was led by Jeremiah Kun and his chief of office staff, Prince William. Because there are video, there are audio evidences to that recording where they were telling Garrison followers that would take the job from you. Then your talk will now win, will remove Garrison, and after we remove Garrison, that's how Sarah Dangwa even lost his job at the GC. And Tomalin knows Sarah or Dangwa. So Garrison said, it's okay, I am going to enter this race. Even if I'm going to have $10, I will enter this race. So he made that commitment. Each of these 3 persons are very moved, personal conviction to contest. The addition of CNC, the other person coming, it's just a sidebar. They were committed to run, come what may, and that's what happened. And I think we should not take that narrative away from them. These three people were going to contest anyway.
I mean, I have no doubt that these people have the constitutional right to run, and they have their own objectives, they have their own ambitions, and they have reasons to. Because even I would not be in a county where my liberty, my constitutional right to express my political view would be subjected to somebody telling me when and where. So yes, I support everybody that wants to run, and the manner in which they are doing it. They are fighting hard. They are working hard. I think Mark Blair, as a young man, the work he has done in the county speaks for itself. And people say he's very, I've never met him personally, but I have never heard anything contrary to him being a very humble, honest, hardworking man for his people. And those of us who are talking about, we need new faces, on the political scene than the recycled folks. That's why Honorable Ability said at first, we need to get, you have tried the CDC, you have tried the Unity Party. It's time for you to take a look at somebody else. So what we are saying here is, when you make the attempt, when you have this public relation, whether it's I don't want to call it whether it's a scam or whatever that is, that you are supporting three people, okay? And then you get a backlash. Serious backlash as a party who is not serious, is not committed, a party that is not determined, that is not resolute in their decision making, and they are vacillating, basically going with the wind, so they can take credit for whoever wins. That is not the political decision that I would have expected any serious political party to make. So this is why when Honorable Musa Ability said, we need to take a serious look at this candidate. I think that you will be shocked about who are listening, who are the people that are listening to this message. They are taking a look at this young man who has worked with them. So I don't think whether he guilt or he bastard or he cry will make any difference. I think the difference is going to be, what has he done for the people? On this, when I started on this particular platform, the first thing that I talked about, I said, character counts. So now we are going to now test the characters of these folks, and the folks are going to find out that when you look at the videos that have been circulating, Koga and the vice president, they are the worst characters basically in all of Liberian politics that I have seen. To see a sitting vice president giving out money, to see the sitting representative that have been in the House for 13 years, for someone to stand and say, women, where are you at? This is your cold water. Where are the chief? This is your cold water. And the candidate said, 100,000. I mean, where are our institution, our integrity institution, corruption institution? What are they waiting for? For someone to file a complaint when they see crime being committed on live TV? So yes, we all have a lot of work to do because our democracy is at risk as we see it. The United States have done their part by sanctioning folks for what they consider pay to play. And what I saw on TV, if it's not what pay to play is, then I don't know what is.
Yona, if I may just come in, I think for me, those issues you just touched on, those are the critical issues that we should be talking about throughout until the election, and beyond the election, we should debate it. That what the activities of the vice president, the activities of Samuel Koga, the activities of the Unity Party in Nimba in this by-election is a clear and unambiguous violation of the election laws. The guys are engaged in open vote buying and vote raking. And, you know, the activities they are involved in actually is a clear definition of the legal definition of vote raking. I've watched Koga in a town called Pla, because I'm from Nimba, so I know most of the villages. And in fact, by the way, when I used to play soccer, I played soccer in Pla. You know, that game ended in confusion. So I know the place.
Pla is a confusion place.
No, it's not a confusion place. It's a beautiful place. It's not a confusion place. It's a beautiful town. But you know, when we're young, we used to go around and go play football.
So did you spend most of your time in Nimba before?
Yeah, I went to 5 different schools in Nimba and graduated from high school in Nimba.
Okay.
So I went to Jallah Pearson Gantor. I went to St. Mary's in Sanugole. I went to Jallah Pearson. JVS, Johnny Vocal High School in Seglepier. I went to Zika Memorial. I went to different schools. Pull ball from a village, a little tiny village. You got to stay with different people to make ends meet. So it also helped to struggle, always survive it. So this is what the guys are doing. If President Joseph Boakai, I don't mean he's not a serious president, but I think if he was running a serious government, I think the activities of his vice president would be answering questions to NSA, really. Because to see a sitting president and the vice president is telling people that if certain candidates are elected, it will make it difficult for him in 2029. That is actually, I don't want to describe it on the air, but this is really a serious matter. Because when people are elected, they are entitled constitutionally to 2 terms. And we believe and pray that Joseph Boakai will live up to 100 years. So Joseph Boakai will have the capacity to go for the 2nd term. But his sitting vice president has made the election in Nimba about his personal ambition for 2029. That it is a time Nimba should produce a president and not him. So if Garrison Yelu is elected, or Madam Way is elected, or Mike Bleon, in fact, particularly Garrison and Madam Way, he says that will put a dent in his 2029 ambition. So he was elected for 6 years to do a piece of job. He has abandoned it for the past 2 weeks. He's sitting now in Nimba. Distributing money. He said this thing, then he gave money. He doesn't say quarter. When Koga was in Pla that I was talking about, his mother is from that or chiefdom. They call it Lislon. It's an administrative district. So he was talking to the people that you people are my uncle. My mother is from here. My late mother came from here.
Kehleboe, quick, 1 minute. Somebody wants to say something quick because the person didn't have time. They just want to say my country.
No, go ahead.
Why are you live?
Yeah, I wanted to just specifically make reference to Mr. Gilman. He keeps stressing the point about CDC, supporting.
Is that Sarah?
Yeah.
Let Sarah come here, man.
Sarah, wait, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, supporting 3 candidates is an option for citizens, and it's a strategy as well. And that strategy, believe it or not, is working in the favor of the opposition candidates in that race. So while it might look confusing, it is a strategy, and that strategy is working. And even the Koga camp, that strategy is putting a hole in the base. So I just wanted to say that the focus is not on CDC, the focus should be on the candidates. And I'm pretty sure CMC have a candidate in the race. So Mr. Gilman, all of us should be focused on our candidates winning and leave CDC alone. CDC supporting 3 candidates was a strategy. So you got to understand that. That's why I try to make that point clear. Thank you.
Okay, so let me continue.
We got a few more minutes, so we'll just wrap up.
Let me continue on this. So Koga in that village, he talked to the people and said, "You people are my uncle." I think they gave they got him that day. He said he wants to win that district. He said, "You must show to me that I'm your nephew. I want to win here. So I will not come here to my uncle then. I talk to you and ask you for support and just leave with my empty mouth. For the elders of the chiefdom, I'm giving you $300,000. He asked for their support, then he gave the $300,000. Look at the trend. You're buying vote. Then people clap. Oh! Then he turned to the youth. He said, the youth, I want this thing not for individual. I hear you're having project in Conway. Conway is right on the main road. That is off the road. He said, I hear you're having project in Conway. I think it's some youth center or whatever. He said, on that project, I'm giving $1,000 to that project. You're going to use it for that. You know, and he said, after the election, I want to come here. On that day, I must win this district. He was very clear that he must win in the listening bell. Okay? That is a clear vote buying. But if you go talk to AACC, if you go talk to Election Commission will say, we don't have money to monitor all the stations. If people hear it, they should come lodge complaint. That's the excuse the weak institutions always give. But they are watchdogs when they should have even people in the media or the legal office monitoring the different campaign activities of these candidates, so that when they engage in act that is contrary to the election laws, they revised the election law of 2014, they should call them to book. They should cite them that you said this statement. Here is a statement. What you say here is a violation of the law. If there is any penalty there, they should give it. They should not wait and say complaint must be filed to them. So this is what this is happening. For example, this evening, before come here, if I part of the thing that delayed me and I didn't work today, I'm following a whole lot of leads. I will tell you this because Sylvester and Gilman, myself, we are in the same boat as Tomalin and George. We have candidates in the race. If you saw the video that George Lobo was going from marketplace to one marketplace to another in the street, giving some blue stickers.
So tomorrow we'll play that video. I saw you a bunch of money, a whole bundle of money in the market.
So that sticker, there is an emerging story behind that sticker.
Huh.
It's part of the strategy the guys are trying to rig the election. That this sticker, people will take it, and they have reached arrangement with some net workers, and I'm understanding that a net commissioner is involved in that. What they're doing is people who will carry that sticker with them. It's a blue sticker. Who will carry that sticker with them to a voting center. The ballot paper issuer will give them more than one ballot paper. So when they go there, they vote and come and put it there. Another thing we got, which we're working on, is part of the strategy they're trying to use on the opposition candidate is that the ballot paper issuer, when they are in opposition stronghold, so for example, they're in Mike Brown stronghold, they will try to make sure most of the ballots that will be cast there should be invalid ballots, invalid votes. So they will not stamp the ballot paper. Because by right, when the ballot paper issue,
all those things, they have your representation intact.
Yeah, so you know what? But I was election magistrate before, and I've been observer also on the other side. The thing is, the way they arrange the observers, they are to some extent, some distance. In some areas, in some classrooms, they are bigger, and sometimes in some areas, so we have to watch out for this stuff. Okay, so and these are information that has come to, and they seem more credible because we talked to a lady who actually, I talked to the lady in Ganta who said in 2023 she walked to a center, and the strategy the Unity Party put in place, that's how they were voting in Nimba, was when you enter, you must scratch your right hand shoulder with your left hand. Then they will know that was a strategy arranged in that ballot paper issue. When you scratch your right shoulder with your left hand, then they will give you more ballot paper. to go and vote. So she said when she entered, she was online, she this or right hand shoulder was itching. So she started scratching it. So they gave her 3 ballot papers. So when she went in there to vote, she marked 1 and brought back the 2 and said, "Well, you gave me 3. I'm the voter with 1. Yeah, the other 2." And they were embarrassed. "Oh, sorry. No, cutting the thing and give her heart attack." Then after the election, when they were voting, then people started confessing. And she said, "Oh, they thought I was part of them. Even though I was going to vote for Unity Party, but I didn't know that was their strategy." So these guys, this Jeremiah is a master raking. He's a master of raking election in Nimba. Maybe
if they are
raking election, we'll give it to Jeremiah.
If they are accustomed to raking election, this election will not be that election because with every
mechanism. He started raking. Why he's doing Liberia in Nimba already is part of raking. Look, election fraud is not committed on the day of election alone. Election is a process. So the different processes that lead to the voting, if you begin.
See, we got 4 more minutes. Got to go now.
But I'm just trying to make that because I don't come and say election expert, but I've been so many elections though. I've been election magistrate. I've been international observer in Kenya for the cattle center, and I've been with the electoral officer for the United Nations in East Timor. So I know a little bit about election. Okay, I can tell you, election is not rigged on the day of election.
The minute got to close that, do that closing. The minute
we're on the same side. We are opposition. You are journalists. No.
I'm journalist. I'm big.
Let me say, I know some of these things are preemptive strap. People will do these things, but the best solution to those things, yes, you don't overlook it. And the past election, there are a lot of fraudulent things that unfolded in Nimba County, and in terms of imagine the ruling party or teetered in Nimba. A ruling party teetered in Nimba. So we shouldn't take this lightly in terms of what the guys want to do.
But the level of PhD ranking is there.
They want to do everything to justify that Kun is in the race for the presidency. So by winning this, will affirm that or reaffirm that to them. But but they don't really know that we, from the opposition side, particularly, what the CMC have done is to put into place firm mechanism to protect the vote.
He's a consummate diplomat.
To protect the vote. And that intent is to ensure that we have our representation covered. All of the polling centers.
One of these days, you will be 4 minutes all that, bro.
If you will. So basically, we ought to just see the reality and then and bend to that. But Kehleboe,
you'll be there.
You shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried, panic about this. The only thing you do, you have to put into place countermeasures.
We are fighting.
I'm a put into place countermeasure, not to cheat at them, but to prevent them from cheating.
No, that's what we're doing. I'm a fighter. That's why I'm not going to work now. I'm sitting now. I'm taking time from work. Even Tuesday, I will not work.
I thought you would have bought a ticket and flew down and be part of the process there. But anyway, it's tight. I understand why you cannot leave. But yeah, you can still be here and make a significant issue back. But again, collectively, we have to do that to stop them from cheating.
The opposition need to unite on monitoring the ballot and protecting the ballot.
That's a cost.
The independent candidates who must share our resources in terms of monitoring.
That's a cost that can be done.
Well, Tom, but let me make an announcement. Finally, the closing argument, we have invited the candidates, especially Madam Ware, Mr. Yelu, Mr. Blingwan, and Mr. Koga, to make their closing argument in the next few days. We'll give them 15 minutes to speak to the people of Nimba. They can come either by telephone or by make the live appearance, make the closing argument. They have the time to come and address the people of Nimba, and so they can make their case to them in front of them, pitch to them for the last time why they should be voted into office. And we have given up. We have reached out to them today. We have not gotten any response yet, but we hope we should get in the next few hours to know about it. But again, finally, wish the people of Nima peaceful elections. As election come to a climax, this weekend will be heavy in Nima. I know the guys, I know Manaware and the whole group is going for her this weekend, leaving Friday, Saturday, and also I think the CMC, the political leader, arriving on Sunday. And I heard that he will bring in a lot of momentum for his candidate once he arrived. He'll be addressing the press and the people of Nima, and they have your major press conference, I'm hearing. And he will be giving us some goodies that he bringing from Europe. So look, we're watching out for that too. And we'll hear from all of them. But again, let's keep our eyes on Nima and let's pray for a peaceful election in Nima County. Guys, Mr. Gaiman, when you coming back? You coming back?
I depart on Sunday.
Safe flights. If I don't see.
Yes, and
British Airways,
BBC updated their stuff. Yes, it's 2 dead.
Yes.
The 4 dead was on. They say some cable something dropped, and 4 people got killed there. So, so
it's came on a dinner. So
so it's great news. But also today, Manchester was on fire because Man U defeated Lyon, and the whole town, there was no space. You couldn't even walk. Old Trafford was upside down.
Did you have the time to go to any of the pub? Because
I won't tell you that, but I won't tell you that. But all I can tell you, everywhere we went, people were happy.
The pub all over the place. You walk down the street, English spoken drink.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for a great coverage.
Watch out for a special late night show either tomorrow night, Saturday, or Sunday. It will be a tough.
Great. Yes, we'll be there.
Talk about it.
Thank you, guys.
Are you on British Airways back?
With me?
You on British Airways, right?
No, Virgin Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Virgin Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, guys.
You
pick up straight from Florida?
From Manchester for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Full Lauderdale.
Full Lauderdale. Yeah.
No, man.
Full Lauderdale.
Are you officially a member of the CMC now? Because you went on South Scene to observe. After observing, have you officially joined? I know it's a UPP man, so I want to be sure that he has now switched from UPP to let him speak.
He must have shared that, baby.
Listen, great day. The game between Manchester United and Lyon was a great game. And Man U won on aggregate. Great game. Chelsea also won on aggregate. So it's a great day to be in the UK.
The greatest victory was Arsenal. The greatest.
That's what I'm saying. That was
a greatest
yesterday. To beat Real Madrid yesterday, I didn't want to say it because I just like our team. I didn't want to mention it.
It's the greatest achievement any club can have in Europe.
Gentlemen, it was nice being on the show.
You talk about Full Lauderdale, man. I remember when we used to go to Florida to a person we were living there in Pembroke Pines. That was the land. Full Lauderdale.
That's correct. Full Lauderdale. You just go down there and you'll be right there. Hollywood. You'll be going to Hollywood. That's right.
About the economy, right?
I was
economy is getting worse. Back in November, it was 42% of Americans. You don't have to be a genius to follow this timeline. By February, it was 49%. March, 51%. Look at where we are now, 53%. The clear majority of Americans think the economy is getting worse, and that number is...
Man, y'all liberal people, that's CNN. Don't listen to them. Turn to Fox News. We got better stats.
Today, your Fox reporter, Jim, your Attorney General, she couldn't answer the question, sir. Jim couldn't answer the question.
Listen, leave Pam Bundy alone. She better
I do listen to CNN, but not by much. But I love to listen to this guy, the posters who.
Oh yeah, I mean he's very dramatic. So he said it's so low. His approval rate is low.
No. You see that? You look at the trend. It's a perception survey. Consumers' perception about the economy being worse. It started from 42%. It went to 49%. Then now it is 53%. So the majority of Americans now believe that the economy is getting worse. No, which is not a good sign for Trump.
Well, I tell you, put a stop. They're disrespecting the Supreme Court. They said bring the ball back from El Salvador. They stay playing games with that ball.
I mean, they're not going to do it.
But I mean, if the people sit down, it's starting.
The president is the president of El Salvador saying he won't let nobody in the country.
I want to say he's a benevolent dictator. Yeah,
that's correct. That's why he's a cool dictator. They call him cool dictator. Can you imagine somebody calling himself cool dictator?
One of the English team coming to Liberia to play soon. I think they'll be announcing it soon. Or English club. So get ready for that game. We'll be traveling with that team.
That's good.
And if people will charge, if the price will charge, we'll make up starting cheap. People will make it expensive so that people will care.
What kind of game?
Is that Dubai USA?
English club. I want an English club coming. I think coming play in Liberia. So
who they coming to play? Dubai USA?
They play Lone Star.
Oh, Lone Star. Okay.
When?
Very soon. I see they're having ours. We'll be doing CC registration for new members.
What month is it?
CDC anniversary.
Because most likely we'll be having a major event in June in Liberia.
Oh, CMC?
I'm just announcing there will be some major stuff going on in June in Liberia.
The CDC having the event as in town.
Oh, CDC?
Yeah, well managed.
What are you having?
What you mean?
CDC recruitment drive with clamor with Arsenal visit Liberia.
Thank you. Coach, listen, Joseph Boyka bringing Arsenal, that would be great.
Arsenal coming abroad, that Boyka.
That Joseph Boyka team, you bring Arsenal, that's good.
Give me a say, you know that. I don't think I'm the Liberia draw we are.
Okay.
You know that one.
If it's Arsenal, that Joseph Boyka got the jersey. Joseph Boyka say he Arsenal man.
Arsenal Godfather coach, bro, Mr. We are all right.
Yeah, brought him from
yeah. In France? No,
he's a Frenchman, but he was coach for Arsenal for almost 20 plus years.
Oh, before he went to the French national team?
No, I think he started with Monaco, right?
He coached. We are in first in
Monaco.
In Monaco.
No, Claude Roda, the coach from Cameroon national team.
No, I'm talking about Arsene Wenger.
Oh, wait. Who took we are from Cameroon? You know, a French coach recommended him.
There was a French coach who his business manager at the time. What they got? I forgot his name. But
well, for Tonnerre, I think they were the Senegalese Cameroon national coach. He's a Frenchman. Yeah, that's the story. A French national for coaches in the Cameroon national team. And you saw we are. He told Monaco, say, "Yeah, but come for the guy. He may have for 3 years, but 6 months you're getting from here quick." A Claude Raw, he was a Frenchman coaching the Cameroon national team. That will happen. Yes.
Okay. Excellent, guys. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, fixed electronic. That Wenger brought we out of Europe. Okay, I see. Oh, that Claude Raw.
There you go.
Anyway.
The football aficionado, you're going to do the research. Come on. We stand to be corrected.
The protocol people Madini, a constant diplomat. I won't call it, but some fans and people got some fans. So they say, like, when people want to show a kind of show, they say, like, yeah, talk. When he sings just a pulse and capitulate. Well, guys, good night, man. See you guys.
Okay, guys. Thank you.